Vibrant, religious, innovative. These are just some of the characteristics of the Kapampangans. They have produced some of the best politicians, artists, and basketball players of the country. But tonight, that will be put to test as they go against the strongest contenders of the South, the Bacoor City Strikers. Both have been number one in their own divisions. Both have the biggest lineups in their own divisions. But tonight, one will be bigger than the other. Can James Quecote, Jan Nermal, and Marky dominate? Or can the Christmas capital of the country, through the Pampanga Giant Lanterns, give the Kapampangans their very first Christmas present? Ito ang liga na sinusubaybayan mula Luzon, Visayas at Mindanao. This is Game 1 of your Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League National Finals.
Last 5 years, a new champion has emerged at the end of each season of the Mpbl. And this year is no different. After more than 8 months of competition, only 2 teams remain standing. The Bacoor City Strikers and the Pampanga Giant Lanterns.
The Bacoor City Strikers will advance to the 2023 Mpbl National Finals. The Pampanga Giant Lanterns will advance to the 2023 Mpbl National Finals.
These 2 teams are playing in the national finals for the first time. Fueled by past playoff heartbreaks, Bacoor reloaded in the off-season, stacking their lineup with promising talents and battle-tested veterans who have playoff and championship experience.
To the living legend of the Mpbl, Marky for 2.
Kahit hindi tayo malakas, basta buo tayo, hindi tayo basta-basta matatalo kasi mahirap yung star player tayo lahat pero hindi tayo buo, pagka mahirap.
Top seed in the South Division heading into the playoffs, and that's where they faced their first test.
Will fire. Oh! CJ katapusan!
Tinapos! What an upset, Mpbl.
Yung Iloilo game, binuhay kami na tipong, oy, hindi ganyan ang laro, hindi ganyan ang playoffs.
Hindi pa kayo malakas, wala pa tayong napatunayan. So yun, parang ginising kami ng Iloilo.
So lahat kami, nung pagkatalong yun, pagpunta sa sunod na practice, kita mo, nagbago bigla yung approach nila eh.
But the Strikers recovered, winning the next 2 games to avoid a historic upset. Waiting in the next round was last year's South Division champions, Zamboanga, and the reigning MVP, JC Marcelino. But Bacoor faced, unseating the Kings of the South in 2 games.
James Quecote using his speed going baseline.
No quick. JC Marcelino, block by Nermal!
Parang wala nang time na nag-relax ang player namin doon eh. Natalo namin sa Zamboanga, kumbaga wala pa, hindi pa tapos yung mission namin kasi yung mission namin talaga na makuha yung national championship.
Their latest challenge was Batangas, the second best team in the South.
Cedric Ablaza, a blistering start by the home squad.
Mahirap yung Batangas din talunin kasi nga ang tagal na nila magkakasama.
But the Strikers would not be denied this time, defeating the Embassy Chill in 2 hard-fought games.
So yung mga negative na nangyari sa akin, iiwan ko na yun. Yung mga natutunan ko sa kanila, yung dadalhin ko sa finals.
Pero importante, lahat sasakay dun sa biyahe hanggang matapos yung biyahe.
J-Mo, no foul there. Egilos on the recovery, he scores. Zambuluto is blocked by Jammer Hamito. 3-pointer from Jan Nermal.
Over in the north, Pampanga also built something special. The Giant Lanterns assembled a lineup filled with talent at every position capable of taking on any team. On the run with Balbi, alley-oop!
Arwin Santos from downtown.
And that's exactly what they did, losing just twice in the regular season for a 26-2 record and the best record in the league.
Encho Serrano spins, Encho Serrano scores!
Huwag natin iisipin na underdog yung kalaban kasi kaya lang nila sinasabi yan para magkumpiyansa tayo at para makontento tayo kung ano meron tayo ngayon.
Home court advantage throughout the playoffs, Pampanga overwhelmed Marikina and Caloocan in the first 2 rounds.
Jay spins, tough 1-2. Santos for 3. Yes, sir.
Game plan talaga and number 1 talaga yung ginawa namin yung depensa talaga. And then yung tiwala natin sa isa't isa.
Then came their biggest test, the the San Juan Knights.
Taiwan! Yes, sir! Orlan, three-pointer!
Palaging sinasabi ni Gob, malakas yan. Maganda tayo, huwag kayong magkumpiyansa.
They were pushed to the limit in 2 games, but Pampanga still prevailed to stay undefeated in the postseason and march to the national finals.
There's the pass to MJ. Garcia soars and scores. And roll. Allen Miwag for 2. Ooh, that's a tough rebounding sequence.
Ginaid ko sila na huwag sisuko kasi hindi pa tapos. Parang nag-uumpisa pa lang kami. First quarter, second quarter. Then, inunti-unti namin hanggang sa'yo. Hindi kami bumitaw hanggang dulo.
And so, the national finals is set. Best of the North against the best of the South.
Bubos namin yung lahat ng mga sakripisyo at yung pagtsatsaga namin sa team sa practice.
2 teams that have been on a collision course since the season started.
Kung sila gusto nila, gusto din namin.
2 teams brimming with talent and experience, supported by thousands of passionate fans.
Bakbakan to. Hindi sila papatalo, hindi rin naman kami papatalo.
At kung sinong mas may kailangan, siya mananalo.
2 powerhouse teams representing 2 provinces, rich with history and culture.
Kwarto. Talagang hindi magpapatalo yung dalawang team.
2 teams will battle for the championship. But only one team is destined for greatness and basketball immortality. This is game number 1 of the 2023 Mpbl National Finals.
It is another beautiful night for Philippine basketball as tonight the ultimate duel begins between the top 2 teams in the Mpbl. We have the Pampanga Giant Lanterns as the best team in the north going up against the Bacoor City Strikers as the best team in the south. We are coming to you live from the Brenzigiao Convention Center all the way up in San Fernando, Pampanga, wherein the Lanterns are still undefeated on their home floor, 14-0 in the whole 5th season of the Mpbl. But tonight, they will be battle-tested against the best team in the South, Bacoor City, in which, as we remember, in the regular season, these 2 teams actually faced in Laguna. That was in neutral territory. So now it is a different story as we begin our 2023 Mpbl National Finals. Thank you so much for joining us. This is Mix Gomez at your service alongside Coach JV Gayoso with Andrea Indicio and Mika Abisamis. Now, Coach JV, you mentioned it to me a lot of times already. In terms of the matchup that we have in the finals, what makes it the most formidable matchup for you here in the Mpbl?
Well, ang kagandahan nitong 2 teams, we've got the best of the best playing tonight. They have a mixture of experience and youth. They're both quick. They play in a system that's flexible. They make adjustments right there and then, and they're ready to play all out. Great game tonight, Mix.
That's all we have to hear from our 2 courtside reporters, beginning with Andrea Indicio, who will be reporting for the Bacoor City Strikers tonight. Andrea, tell us about the game plan, some preparations made by Bacoor for this game.
First of all, isang napaka-exciting na gabi sa inyong lahat. And yes, I will be reporting from the side of Bacoor na talaga nga namang all eyes on the prize. At sabi pa nga ni Coach Alex Angeles, masayang maging South Division champions but the job is not yet finished. Kaya naman ngayong gabi, hindi lang daw sila kakapit sa kanilang depensa pero pati na rin sa kanilang 3-piece. Pananalig, pagkakaisa, at puso. More of this later on, but for now, balik muna sa inyo.
Thank you so much, Andrea. Now, Mika Abisamis, on the other hand, will be reporting for the Pampanga Giant Lanterns, and she will tell us about the past week of preparations for Pampanga.
With all of the achievements of the guy they call Tatay, Gov, Coach Governor Delta Pineda needs one more thing in his life, and that is to bring the crown of the Mpbl to Pampanga. So this week was really busy for the Pampanga Giant Lanterns. They did practices with Coach Raiko Toroman, trainings, but my most favorite was their team bonding sa farm ni Arwin Santos. At sa kung ano ba ang kinain nila dyan, ano bang ginawa nila sa practices, ikukwento ko yan sa inyo, maya-maya lamang.
Well, you have to love the road in terms of this past week for our 2 teams, so just preparing for their first championship here in the Mpbl. This is the first final stint, by the way, for both Pampanga and Bacoor in the history of our league. But speaking of road to the finals, why don't we talk about the history of Bacoor in this season? Coach JB, what led them to our championship series?
Well, they had a great game, great match against Iloilo. And there we saw medyo nagkaroon sila ng hits 2-1. They defeated Iloilo. They play another series against Zamboanga. They take that in 2. And then finally, Batangas, nobody expected them to take it in 2, but they just played much better basketball, and they got it, and now they're here.
Well, it's good that you mentioned the hitch that they experienced against the Iloilo United Royals. That was the hitch that they never forgot for the rest of the playoffs. That was their first loss in these playoffs, and ever since, it's been 6 straight victories for Coach Alex Angeles and company. One guy who has been crucial for them is their starting forward in the All-Star squad for the South Division, Jan Nermal.
Well, Jan Nermal just stepped up his game this year, medyo mahina pa lang ang pagbanggit ng kanyang pangalan in the previous conferences that he played. But this time, Jan Nermal, household name na agad. Talagang for me, probably the leader of this team offensively and defensively. Here we see his stats, his points. Against Batangas, 11 points, field goal percentage 44.4, 3-point shots 30.7, and his rebounding 5.5. Aside from his intense defense, napakaganda ng contribution niya sa game.
We really are in awe with the improvements of Jan Nermal here in the 5th season of the Mpbl. He recently got drafted in the PBA, but he has one last task, and that is to deliver a championship for Bacoor City. Now let's talk about the other side of things for the Pampanga Giant Lanterns and their road to the finals.
Ito, makikita naman natin Pampanga, talagang napakadali ng kanilang pagpasok dito sa finals. They really dominated, and everybody knew Pampanga can. 2-zip versus Marikina, as well as Caloocan, and then San Juan, where everybody thought aabot ng 3 games. Medyo talagang hindi, because in that last game, despite the lead that San Juan had, they weathered the storm, panalo ang Pampanga, and now they're here.
Well, it has been almost a perfect season already for Governor Coach Dennis Delta Pineda. Their 2 losses, by the way, happened in neutral territory. But this guy, he is near invincible here in the 5th season of the Mpbl. Our All-Star Game MVP, Balti Baltazar, actually has a chance to be the first guy to win All-Star season and Finals MVP in one season.
Oo nga, very deceptive itong si Balti Baltazar. I was studying their previous games. Pero before I go into it, tignan natin ang performance niya. 18.5 points against San Juan, averaging 17.6, 53.8 field goals, 19.5 rebounds, and 5 assists. But aside from that, he's very deceptive. His eyes, do not look at his eyes, because he fakes everybody out, pretending that he'll pass, then he'll score. Or he pretends to shoot, then he'll pass. So his eyes are very deceptive. Huwag niyo tingnan mata ni Balti Baltazar.
Well, let's see if there's going to be some deception from the side of Bacoor City in terms of the defenses that will play out for them against Balti Baltazar tonight. But now we have 2 more players to watch out for. That is a wonderful matchup between James Quecote and Encho Serrano, 2 dynamic guards that we have in the Mpbl.
Well, napakaganda nga ng matchup nito. Points-wise, 12.7 for James Quecote, Encho Serrano, 16.4. I was amazed watching this guy play. Itong si Serrano, 39% field goal for Quecote, 44 naman para kay Enzo Serrano. Rebounding-wise, alamang lang ng konti si James Quecote. Assist-wise, doon makikita mo, pumapabor talaga si Enzo Serrano because he creates and passes that ball. While James Quecote, naasahan mo talagang kumamada from the 3. And the steals-wise, halos 1 or close to 2 steals per game yung both squad players.
Well, it's going to be nice to hear from our 2 players as they approach Game 1 of the National Finals. So why don't we turn things over to Andrea and Bishop?
That is right, Mix. Unahin ko na munang kausapin itong si James. James, your opponent team's lineup is very loaded. Plus, they have the home court advantage. But who do you think will be the main men of Bacoor in this ballgame?
It's not just me, it's just everyone on the team today. Everyone's going to contribute today and end up with a good win, hopefully.
Very well said. Do you have any message to the fans or the supporters of the Bacoor City Strikers?
I want to say shout out to the Bacoor fans watching all the way in Bacoor. I know you guys are watching. Also, I want to shout out my family here from Pampanga. They're over there. Thank you guys, and yeah.
Alright, thank you so much. Good luck to you and your team. Dumako naman tayo sa aking kanan. Encho, simple lang naman ang tanong ko. Kung depensa ang puhunan ng Bacoor, ano naman ang magiging puhunan ng Pampanga sa laban na ito?
Siguro kailangan lang namin i-apply yung lahat ng pinractice namin sa training, and yun, kailangan namin maglaro sa team, and alam naman namin na lahat kami pwedeng umiscore, so kailangan talaga namin hanapin kung sino yung open.
Encho, sinabi ni James that anyone can step up from the Bacoor City team. Paano niyo yung tatapatan?
Siyempre, kailangan din namin, hindi naman puro opensa, kailangan din namin dumipensa. So yun, kailangan namin magsipag kasi malakas din sila kasi umabot sila dito sa finals, so yun.
Alright, meron ka bang gustong sabihin sa lahat ng mga Kapampangan na walang sawang sumusuporta sa inyong team?
Dakala salamat karing hanggang Kapampangan na alang sawang susuporta kay kami. Pangako mi po kayo na gawan mi po yung best mi. Kunan tayo po yung championship po yun.
Alright, thank you so much. Good luck to you and your team as well. Mga kaliga, from 29 tough teams, we are finally down to 2. Sino nga bang makakauna, Bacoor o Pampanga? But before anything else, please watch this video message from our very own founder, Senator Manny Pacquiao.
Archibald Guzman bounces to Balti. That's the first Balti slam in the semifinals. Going to MJ. Garcia will fly. Up, and away.
Sa lahat ng aking mga kababayan, mga kabalin, inimbitahan ko po kayo na patuloy na suportahan ang inyong Pampanga Giant Lanterns sa kanilang paglaban sa North Division Finals dito sa 2023 Mpbl Playoffs. Salamat po sa patuloy na pagtangkilik sa Mpbl, ang liga ng bawat Pilipino. Maraming salamat.
As MJ drives, there's the kick out. Santos for 3. Yes, sir.
Maya Papengi, we're glad to have you here at the Brent Sigao Convention Center. A 10-month-long survival has tested the hearts of the champions. Tonight, they'll be battling it out as we begin their best-of-5 series. Welcome to the 2023 Manny Pacquiao's Mpbl National Finals. Bacoor Strikers versus your Pampanga Giant Lanterns. We got a starting 5 first for the South Division champions, Bacoor City Strikers. Philbet.com. Center number 8, Jamo Egilos. At guard number 9, Aaron Heruta. Starting at guard number 15, the quick James Fox. James Quick Kutay. And forward number 29, the elastic man, John Nermal. Power forward number 52, Mark Yee. Bacoor Strikers is led by Alex Angeles. His assistants are RB Mangahas, Chris Capina, Jigs Guadamor, Marlo Corbin, the Skyscraper Marlo Aquino, Big Bag Andaya, and Royce Cuevas. Assistant team manager Lawrence San Jose. Coaching consultants are Cap BJ Aganus, Willie General, and Chris Conway. Team owner and the team manager is Mr. Dennis Amelia. Team owners Ms. Jacob Revilla and Bacoor City Honorable Mayor Strike Revilla.
Home, right in the heart of Central Luzon, where the spectacular giant lanterns are. Shining, shimmering, splendid, you gaze your ray endlessly. We are Philippines, culinary capital. Malago, masanting, warm and friendly kabalens, honest and hard-working leaders. The seed of good governance.
Good luck, Pampanga Giant Lanterns. Good luck, Pampanga Giant Lanterns.
Giant Lanterns, good luck sa game 1 nyo. Sana manalo kayo.
Good luck, Pampanga Giant Lanterns.
And now, bagsak may pagkabalin, the North Division champions, your Pampanga Giant Lanterns AMG 3 Construction. starting with the team staff. Brian Maca, Nelson Aquino, Ronnie Lara, Bax Bangani, Pedro Duyag, Billy Bansil, Aisel Santos, assistant coaches, Gordon Viray, Totoy Marquez, and Jay Shera. Now the players. Number 4 from Masantol, Pampanga, Kevin Santos. Number 6, Luis Sangalang. Number 8, your very own from San Fernando, Pampanga, Enil Kaiser Tolentino. Number 13, Kurt Rayson. Number 14, Jason Apolonio. Number 18, the kid from Apalit, Encho Serrano. Number 22, from Mabalacat, Pampanga, Ronan Santos. From Lubao, Pampanga, Matt De Leon. From San Fernando, Pampanga, Raymond Pinuya. Number 43, Allen Liwag. Also with us, from Angeles City, Carlos Sampang, the 2023 All-Star Slam Dunk Champion, CJ Ganya, Mitchell Minus, and the Spider-Man from Lubao, Pampanga, Arwin Santos. Now, starting at guard, number 11, from Angeles City, the Ninja Assassin, MJ Garcia. The other guard, number 2, from Suklaban, Mexico, Royal Bazooka, Archie Concepcion. Small forward, number 77, from Apalit, John Lloyd Clemente. Power forward, number 7, JB Bahio. Playing center, number 19, Apalit and Mabalacat Pride, Justin Balti Baltasar. Coaching consultants are Brandon Dizon, Mervin Mercado, and Alan Trinidad. First assistant coach, Benedict Matula. Assistant team managers, Ronald Nulud and Raymond Guevara. Team manager and team owner, Aurelio A.G. Gonzalez III. The head coach is Pampanga, Honorable Governor Dennis Delta Pineda. At this time, we got the entrance of colors. Tayo po'y tumindig. And again, kindly remove your caps for the singing of the Philippine National Anthem.
Sa nanatakputok sa simoy at
Marami pong salamat. You may now be seated. Now, join me in welcoming, ladies and gentlemen, to give his short message. Your beloved, Honorable Governor Dennis Delta Pineda.
Okay. To the Mpbl family and the owner of Bacoor Striker, Boss Bobby Bautista, Dennis Abella, and my friend Mayor Strike Revilla, and to all Caviteños, welcome po sa probinsya ng Pampanga. Feel at home po, nothing to worry, safe po kayo rito sa probinsya ng Pampanga. And to all the Kapampangans, maraming salamat po sa suporta ninyo. Let's enjoy the game and pakiusap ko po, keep praying para sa Pampanga Giant Lanterns. Maraming salamat po.
Marami pong salamat, Governor Pineda. Both teams at the center court for the sportsmanship handshake.
Bidang-bida ka, Pampanga Giant Lanterns, buo ang kalooban, may puso at tapang, kaya love namin kayo.
Referees for this ball game are crew chief John Luis Saripe, Umpire 1, Rodel Brila. Umpire 2, Jay Castroverde. Fourth man is Benjo Estroga. This game is under the supervision and the regulation of the Games and Amusements Board.
Welcome everybody to game number 1 of the 2023 Mpbl National Finals. We are coming to you live from the Brenzigiao Convention Center in San Fernando, Pampanga. There you see our Mpbl officials talking to our 4 referees who will be taking on the big responsibility of calling game number 1. Governor Coach Dennis Delta Pineda also having some words with our officials as they secure everything before we begin our national finals. This is the battle between the top team in the north and the top team in the south. Bacoor has only lost once in our playoffs, and that was way back to their first game in the quarterfinals, while on the other end for Pampanga, they're still undefeated in our postseason. See the starters for Bacoor. We have Aaron Heruta, James Cuecote, Jamo Eguilos, Marky, and Jan Mpbl. 3 of those players actually have finals experience already here in the Mpbl with Heruta, Yi, and Eguilos. On the other end, for Pampanga, we have MJ Garcia, Archie Concepcion, Balti Baltazar, JB Bahio, and John Lloyd Clemente.
Nabanggit mo nga kanina, Mix, medyo nag-iba nga ng starting lineup itong Pampanga. I guess itong Arwin Santos isn't playing. He's on reserve right now because he previously started in the last 4 games, I believe.
Well, that shouldn't be too big of a problem for Pampanga, as we have talked about their depth all season long. That's one of the most interesting storylines that we have in the finals. Depth-wise, Coach JD, you talked about this in the pregame. These 2 teams should be 2 of the deepest teams that we've ever had in the history of the Mpbl.
And since I've been here since the start of this our league, the very first, I'm gonna go out on a limb here by saying this could probably be the best matched up finals in the Mpbl, and that's why I've been excited for several days before coming here to Pampanga. And you know that I've been messaging you, Mix.
First shot missed by Balti Baltazar, and here comes Aaron Heruta, the most recent best player for Bacoor in the division finals of the South. Marquis against JB Bahio, onto James Cuecote, 5 on the shot clock. Yi to Aaron Heruta for 3, that's short. Air ball out of bounds.
Well, he had no choice but to launch that shot. They rotated that ball for such a long time. They ended up with 0 seconds na lang. He was forced to take it, but at least great defense there that we see. Alam mo, focus naman itong dalawang team na to ay defense talaga, Migs.
Especially Bacoor. They're number 1 in the league in defensive numbers, limiting their opponents to the least amount of points among all the 29 teams in the league. On the other end, it's Pampanga that's number 1 in offense as Archie Concepcion just missed from downtown.
Wow, they're really stretching their defense right now. Oh, errant pass there by Heruta.
Pampanga's on the run. JB Bahio playing point guard. No foul there. Rebound to MJ Garcia.
Doon mo makikita kagandahan ng team ng Pampanga. They make an error, another error there, but they can recuperate from each error they make. Napakaganda ng team nitong Pampanga.
Not the best of passes there from MJ Garcia, who's taking on point guard duties today for Governor Coach Dennis Delta Pineda. He does have a ton of point guards available for him. You can argue Enzo Serrano can play the point. Kirk Trayson has returned, by the way, to this Pampanga lineup.
Alam mo dito sa Pampangang lineup, well, not just the lineup, the entire team, no? Everybody can play guard. Because sometimes I see Baltazar bringing the ball down. Other bigs are bringing the ball down too. Later, I'll discuss that on my keys to the game.
Derman misfires. Egilos with the offensive rebound. Jamo escapes the defense of Balti.
Well, this is the first big man that Baltazar is really gonna have to match up with, who's quick, knows how to play post, and is composed when he makes his move.
Jamo Egilos, after all, is a champion already when he played with Batangas, and he reached the finals last year with Zamboanga, but he just got scored on by Balti in the previous possession.
Well, yun nga, ang napakahirap talaga pag nakatanggap ng bola si Baltazar. Best to make him find a way, prevent him from catching that ball down low, or else he's unstoppable, Mix.
2-all, Kwekute misses, rebound Archie.
Ramdam na ramdam mo, jitters ngayon ng players ng Bacoor. A lot of hesitation, going strong, James Kwekute, but fell short on the release.
Well, you did mention when you first saw the teams today, suddenly the mighty Bacoor City Strikers looked small, height-wise against Pampanga as MJ Garcia scores. Aside
from that, Migs, hindi lang maliit, but yung aura ng Pampanga, you can sense they're really hungry. They're gonna eat everything they see right now dito sa game na to. Eat up etong Bacoor.
After all, as Mpbl misses, all of the Pampanga players are experiencing the Mpbl finals for the first time. They are definitely hungry. Nice feed, Bahio to JLC.
Well, we know this Pampanga team is much faster than the current lineup that Bacoor has inside, and that's why medyo nahuli na si Marquis at si Jamo Egilos, the two slowest big men on the court right now.
Heruta onto the popping Marquis. He fakes. High-low there. Ball recovered by John Nermal. 5 on the shot clock. Nermal meeting Balti. Nermal with the extension and the miss.
The presence of Baltazar making everybody go away from the basket. There we see point guard Baltazar bringing that ball down.
Nice feed as well to his teammate. A blistering start here for the Pampanga Giant Lanterns on their home floor. It's 8-2.
Napakaganda dito because both teams have shown they can weather the storm. Ito, tingnan muna natin yung bit of action. Nice bounce pass.
He did mention that's the versatility of all the Lanterns. Even their forwards and centers can play point.
Everybody can run. Everybody can dribble that, bring that ball down. They can all create. Very tough to defend. And that's why you have to have 6 sense, extra sense to anticipate those passes when they create.
It's an 8-0 run for Pampanga with 3.5 minutes gone by in game number 1.
Mga kababayan, mainit na ang laban sa 2023 Mpbl Finals. At 2 koponan na lang ang natitira sa National Finals. Kunti na lang at makikilala na natin ang ating bagong kampiyon. Sino kaya sa 2 team ang magcha-champion? Patuloy po nating suportahan at panuorin ang mga natitirang laban sa Mpbl, ang liga ng bawat Pilipino. Maraming salamat po.
Concepcion to Serrano to Balti. Indicio herself, the preparation was definitely deep for Coach Alex Angeles in terms of coming into the finals. But I have to mention this, Coach JB. Coach Alex sought help from a lot of coaches, including Coach Norman Black, Coach Yuri Escueta as well as he approached the finals. That's how you know about the importance in preparing for Bati Baltazar.
Oo, napakahalaga talaga what Andrea was mentioning. You have to prepare in such a way na he never experienced playing in the previous series with the other teams. You have, kailangan bulagain etong si Bati Baltazar. Great point there, Andrea. Thank you for that.
By the way, I also want to give a shout out to Coach Boyd Fernandez. Tinulungan niya rin, no? Si Coach Alex Angeles. Coach Boyd is one of our coaches in the Mpbl for Pasig City in particular, as Egilos passes the ball to Marquis. Back to Jamo, almost traveled, he scores.
Well, that's what you need to do. Jamo Egilos is one of those types of big men who play without shying away from contact. He can create space, carve space for himself to finish off a shot. His 4th point.
8-4 now. Almost halfway done in the opening quarter. NJ Garcia goes to JB Bahio. Pass inside, Balti, double team. He spins and misses.
Great presence there by Marquis. Nakaka-intimidate kahit mas maliit because Marquis, once he elevates and elongates, kayang-kaya niya abutin at i-challenge mga tira ng bigger men.
Marquis, at 41 years old, is our reigning Defensive Player of the Year. Oh, a nice escape, but a sorry miss for Egilos. Forward pass, signature Pampanga. 2 points for Archie.
Well, you see, while Jamo Egilos is playing down low, everybody else needs to be prepared to run back down on transition D, because if Jamo misses, that's what we'll see, another fast break.
10-4 now. They're 4.5 minutes. Kwekute, good look for 3, in and out. Rebound to Bahio. JB saw that they did not have numbers. Now they slow things down. MJ Garcia against Aaron Heruta. They go to JB. Bahio looking up against Marquis. Bahio drives. Bahio almost lost his footing. He still scores.
This guy, I'm amazed with the upper body strength. No? When I first was watching, just to familiarize myself with Pampanga, I thought he was a short guy. But then again, the way he moves, he's like a short guy, but he's big and he's tough.
By the way, let's settle it once and for all. For everybody's information, the right pronunciation is Bahio.
Bahio.
Yes.
All right. Thank you for that.
It came from JB and his family, that information. As Garcia passes on to JLC, that's his shot. Off to the left, offensive rebound. They go to Archie. His 3-pointer is good.
Second chance opportunities, leads for a shot for Archie Concepcion. Amazed with this kid, Archie Concepcion. First time I watched him, he would come off the bench sparingly. Now he's an all-star, a true star for his team.
That was back in Season 3 when Archie was coming off the bench for Mike Wico, among others. There was a violation made by Bacoor City. As we take a look at this 3-point shot, brought to you by Extreme One-Stop Shop Appliances, the former bench warmer and our reigning homegrown player of the year, delivering the goods.
Napakaganda, no? But that was because Bati Baltazar, again, was able to get an offensive rebound. And in the keys to my game later, dun mo makikita, kailangan talaga pigilin ang second chance opportunities.
Now let's turn you over to Mika Abisamis.
This almost perfect Giant Lanterns is also going through some challenges, and one of which is staying healthy. Since the San Juan game, the guys have been feeling under the weather. In fact, Balti, JLC, and Tolentino stayed in the hospital overnight after that game. Today, Encho is also not 100%, and so is Arwin Santos, who will not be playing today, as you mentioned earlier, because of which their practices were focused mainly on stamina to gain back their energy. Bukod dito, medyo nakapag-relax sila. They went to Boracay for a few days. Pero ang mas gusto ko ay yung team bonding nila sa farm ni Arwin Santos. They ate lechon, inihaw na tilapia, hito, bangus, and the crowd favorite hot dogs. They hope that these moments of relaxation would boost the system of the guys physically and mentally. Bigs, Coach James.
What a week for Pampanga.
Napakaganda, no? And look at them. Look at how energized they are, because you know the mental game talaga mix is very it's the best thing to do. They don't need to practice anymore, but the camaraderie and just get them away from that pressure of playing basketball. Great experience for the team.
Imagine, from the hospital to Boracay to the farm of Arwin Santos. It's been a journey. As now, Nito Lentino is trying to mess with John Nermal. He's known for those types of shenanigans. There's the chase. Nermal with an air ball. Rebound Serrano.
Very rare missed shots. Earlier, James Cuecote missed. This time, John Nermal naman. Very rare, because in the Southern Division finals and semis, talagang maganda mga pinupukol nitong mga to.
Under the last 2 minutes in the opening frame. 6 on the shot clock. Here's MJ. Garcia kicks. Tolentino drives. One more pass. 1 on the shot clock. 24-second shot clock violation there for Encho Serrano and company.
Great matchup there. Liu playing tough defense on Encho Serrano. Another player that I was amazed with, Encho Serrano, the way he can just, play composed despite the thriller situations that he faced in the previous games.
15-4. Here's Ivan Dudavise taking his experience, being a champion with Davao onto Bacoor. Cañete misfires. Rebound to Hamito, the magic booner for Bacoor in their previous game. There's a foul called against a striker. It's on Jammer Hamito.
That was a lousy call for me. I mean, they were all there just trying to get rebounds. No extended arm whatsoever. And they should allow a lot more contact, because this is the final.
Right. Let's see if our referees will adjust in terms of their calls. 15-4 now. NJ Garcia working with Balti. Garcia. Balti. Oh! A three-pointer for Balti Baltazar.
Well, very deceiving talaga, no? He sets the pick, gets a free shot, but that time medyo nahuli na si John Nermal. You cannot give him space to face up and make a shot. Itong si Balti Baltazar.
It's 18-4. Nermal is in trouble. No escape there. Balti's on the floor, but he looks to be okay. Encho Serrano from downtown. Yes, sir! The crowd is roaring here inside the Brenzigiao Convention Center.
Well, makikita natin natawagan ng foul si Tolentino. And let's see if there's follow-up on that call, because suddenly a timeout was made just as a foul was called. Ito makikita natin. Sayang, but here we see another shot, Encho Serrano for the 3.
So it's the same angle with same results for Balti Baltazar and Encho Serrano. Long-time friends and teammates in the landscape of Philippine basketball. 21-4. What a start for Pampanga.
Full of confidence, home court advantage, the lechon, the chicken, the Boracay. Everybody's energized. Salt water, laking bagay sa katawan yun. And look at them, they're all running. They're just so relaxed. itong Pampanga team. They're hitting their threes, pero ito nga, let this happen because ang kagandahan nitong series nito, 5 game ang nakahanda para sa ating national finals. Earlier, I mentioned tinawagan ng foul si Tolentino pero medyo nauna yung timeout.
Yeah.
So, hindi nullified yung foul na tinawag.
We go back to Joel Liu working with Ivan Ludovice. Screened by Mike Cañete. 9 on the shot clock. Mismatch for Mike. There's the double team. Ludovice for 3. That's a good look.
Probably the first 3 that they'd hit after several attempts. And doon mo makikita kaganda ng bilis defense, quick defense ng Pampanga. Force lang talaga ang Bacoor to shoot from the outside.
Sanggalang misfires, and that's gonna do it for our opening frame. High octane it was for the Pampanga Giant Lanterns. We did mention it during our press conference. Well, Coach Angeles mentioned it. The lower the score, the better it will be for them. The problem is, they're the only team with the low score so far.
Oo nga, napakababa nga ngayon at hindi nila masabayan yung outside sniping ng Pampanga here. One of the many Archie Concepcion. Kitang-kita mo naman. Another one here by the big guy. That 1-2 step that I noticed, he takes that 1-2 step as he catches that ball. Doon mo makita, release niya.
He talked about the confidence of the Giant Lanterns playing on their home floor. After all, they're still undefeated here in the Bryn Zigyao Convention Center. 14-0. It's 21-7 after 1.
The presence of Balti Baltasar making everybody go away from the basket.
This assist of the game is brought to you by Nexus 88 Gaming.
We're back inside the Bryn Zigyao Convention Center in San Fernando, Pampanga. Let's talk about Coach JV Gayoso's keys to victory for the Bacoor City Strikers.
Well, una, I put it down. Every point counts. Everybody has heard that. Every point counts. But I'll put a twist to this. Akin is every point guard that Bacoor puts in counts. These point guards of Bacoor has to play exceptional basketball, both offense and defense, because the guards of Pampanga, the confidence level is so high. Everybody just creates and dominates. This win, if ever, for Pampanga will be because of the small guys playing for them. Second point natin, don't rebound, box out. Alam mo, I noticed everybody wants to rebound that ball. And in doing so, they forget about boxing out. Sometimes you just need to focus on boxing out. Never mind that you don't get the rebound. Wag lang makuha ni Balti Baltasar. OPM. Here we see overplay the man. Try something out. OPM. I never saw anyone in the previous games of Pampanga overplay the guy. And when you overplay the guy, harass the passer so you have a moving target, makes it difficult for him to receive.
So that's in alignment to what Andrea mentioned about the preparation of Coach Alex Angeles against Balti Baltazar. As now, Coach JV, talk about your keys to victory for Pampanga.
Well, para sa Pampanga naman, nakita ko napakabilis nilang lahat. So, I would like to see them switch. They don't need to go around picks. Everybody can play everybody. So switch, continue switching. We did that before when I'm playing for Tanduay, and we dominated on defense because all of us could play the small man or whoever in the perimeter area. Second point, remain undaunted, unintimidated. Dito makikita mo yung attitude talaga ng Pampanga palaban. Walang second thought, no hesitations. Everybody full of confidence and they trust each other really well. to remain undaunted. Lastly, go for seconds. Ayan, alam mo, pagkain, lahat yan, kakain ng seconds. Pero dito, second chance opportunity. 14 offensive rebounds sila in their first meeting during the elimination round. Itong Pampanga, so continue to do that so you get extra points. Baltazar had that earlier, gave it to his teammate, and they shot the three.
So rebounding continues to be a big-time theme here in the finals. So far, we have 3 offensive rebounds for Pampanga, and overall rebounding, there's a +4 for the Giant Lanterns, as Joel Liu just made a bucket for the Strikers.
Well, yun nga, nabanggit natin, every point counts. Another 3-point shot by the Bacoor Strikers, in that time, si Liu.
So it seems like, and correct me if I'm wrong about this, but Ivan Ludovice seems to be a bit more calculated here with the second unit of Bacoor. He's like a stabilizer for them. Your thoughts about that?
Well, Aaron Haruta kasi played an exceptional couple of games for Bacoor. Medyo coming off the bench talaga si Ludovice. So naturally, pag-aaralan talaga ng Pampanga, etong si Haruta. And this time, Ivan Ludovice stepping up as he can actually do. But in that situation, medyo habang pinag-uusapan natin siya, napalakas ang kanyang pasa.
A bit ironic as we were talking about his calculations on the floor. By the way, Kurt Rayson is now inside the game. Welcome back to him. He's been away because of his stint with Deltran. Archie Concepcion returns as well to join Allen Liwag, Enzo Serrano, and Baltazar. On the other hand, for Bacoor, it's Joel Liu with Ivan Ludovice, Mike Cañete, James Cuecote, and Jammer Hamito. Turnover story for all. Encho will fire. Off to the right. Battle for the rebound. It ends up with Pampanga. Sorry, Mr. Allen Liwag. There's a foul called against Allen.
Well, Allen Liwag probably didn't expect him to find himself all alone for that shot. He was expecting siguro may konting challenge, may konting bangga. Nothing doing. He misses it all on his own.
By the way, Allen Liwag played splendidly in Game 2 of the Division Finals against San Juan. He had 10 points and 14 rebounds. Had a +20 on the floor. Liu goes to Ludovice, who drives and scores.
Well, this unit right now, no, coming off the bench, napakaganda pinapakita for Bacoor, forcing Coach Delta, or should I say Governor, Coach Delta, to call a timeout.
Either way, it works for him.
Hindi, respeto lang because this is the first time I'm covering this game.
Let's take a look at this wonderful move by Ivan Ludovice. He really has to step up, coming off the bench, taking on his experience from Davao as a champion, by the way, onto these Bacoor City Strikers alongside Marquis. They have trimmed the lead, down to 7 points, 2 minutes gone by in the second quarter. Take a look at the numbers of Pampanga and Bacoor City in the division finals. Coach JB.
Ito, makita mo, points scored 84, lamang na lamang ang Pampanga. Points allowed 58, dun medyo pumapabor para sa Bacoor. Rebounding, 10 lumalamang ang Pampanga, but of course they're much bigger team at mas matindi ang kalaban na hinaharap dito sa Southern Division, I suppose. Assist-wise, there we see a lot of people creating for Pampanga. That's why they have 20.5 average assists for their team.
Well, those numbers will basically explain to you why this is a matchup between the best defense versus the best offense in the Mpbl. But we mentioned, Coach Alex wants to limit the production of Pampanga. If you would give them a number, if they can limit the Giant Lanterns to this amount of points, what would that number be?
Oh, that's a tough thing to decide on, but if you can, for the third quarter, I'll go by quarter but not the entire game. For the third quarter, limit them to 10 points or less.
Okay.
Third quarter. And laking bagay na yun. Of course, you have to score as well.
It's now 21-14. Kurt Rayson will fire. Welcome back to the Mpbl.
And these are the things that are very important for Bacoor. Every point counts. Offense and defense. Nabanggit ko nga, hindi mo kayang bigyan ng space ang players ng Pampanga because they can all shoot. Look, check out the defense right now of Pampanga. No space to shoot.
Bando Datise just missed from the corner. And here come the Giant Lanterns. Rayson met by Ivan. He admits to the foul that he just gave up.
How I wish that in my day, playing in the college ranks, you can play in a league like this. There we see the first three.
Ay, yung mapagsasabay mo sana.
Oo.
Much like Kurt Rayson. Well, they're called SGL players for a big reason. Good to have him back in our league. Actually, I've been wanting to ask you about the pace of this game so far.
Well, napakabilis talaga ng ginagawa ng Pampanga. Every miss of Bacoor, they run 9-0 fast break points sila sa first quarter, Mix. Encho Serrano for his fifth as he penetrated going baseline. Napakabilis ng tempo, and that's why itong Bacoor really needs to step up their quickness.
Jammer Hamito, mid-range, short for the former Giant Lantern. And here comes Encho Serrano. They go to Archie. His three-pointer is short. Ball out of bounds in favor of Bacoor. Mpbl will now return.
Sorry, Mix. Bacoor right now is trying to run back down on defense, but in doing so, they clog themselves up way inside, allowing the players of Bacoor to shoot. Here we see Encho Serrano's baseline penetration.
Just absolute body strength right there from one of the ninjas described to us by Coach Louis Gonzalez. Mpbl with a kick out. Marquis fakes. The 41-year-old leaning in and scoring.
Great move. Just keeping himself there, but John Mpbl had the opportunity to attack. Itong si Balti Baltasar and opted to pass.
Balti going left, laying that ball up with his right hand.
Yun nga nababanggit ko, once he holds that ball, pretends to look at the ring, he penetrates. If he pretends to look, you sag off and he'll take that three. Very deceiving ang mata ni Balti Baltasar. Napaka-smart player.
28-16 now. Marquis trying to post up against Allen Liwag. That's a nice matchup. Yi turns around. No foul, no basket. Rayson goes to Encho. Serrano for three. Too strong. Battling for the rebound. It ends up with Bacoor. Mpbl stopped by Encho.
See, as Encho Serrano made that stop on the person with the ball, three other Pampanga players are already down, quick on transition defense. You need to release that ball because masyadong mabilis ang paa ng mga players ng Pampanga. The ball will move faster than trying to dribble that ball down.
Speaking of Pampanga, why don't we hear again from Mika Abisabis?
Despite the star-studded lineup, I think you guys will agree with me when I say that the Giant Lanterns started the season with not much chemistry. Only one or two guys would dominate. But recently, there were a lot of them that contributed, and some of which are Bahio, JLC, Liwag, and of course, the usuals, Encho and Balti. And this is because kwento ni Encho, nag-usap-usap silang players internally. Talked about their specific roles, pushed the people that they needed more from sa front line. Liwag and Sanggalang were asked to help Balti. Rayson, welcome back to him, was asked to help Binuya. And Serrano in the backcourt. So ang ganda kasi hindi to initiated by the coaches. Sila mismo ang nag-usap para magkaintindihan sila lalo. And most of them are on the court right now. Kudos to this effort. Mix, Coach James.
Well, that's definitely a good point by Mika Abisamis. Coach JV, talk to us about the communication needed from the players' side when you're already facing the finals of any league.
Well, when you chill out together, you talk about what you need to do on the court so that when you get to the court, eye-to-eye contact, you already know what it means. I like what Mika pointed out because these are the things that people watching should understand how important it is to be brotherly to each other. We're in kaya mo nang amuyin, but there we go.
It's Kurt Rayson making his second three-pointer in this game. As Mika mentioned, welcome back to him. He does have a lot of chemistry already with these Kapampangans of Governor Coach Dennis Delta Pineda. John Mpbl to answer back. He's fouled.
Well, Coach Delta Pineda really furious seeing John Mpbl kick off after taking the shot.
It looks like they're going to be using the challenge. Let's see what happened in the previous sequence first. Three-pointer on the break for Kurt Rayson, the Letran Knight.
And in that replay that we just showed, doon mo makikita Bacoor ran back down on defense, leaving the top area, which is the deadliest area, all free from any defender.
And that made the fans happy here inside the Brenzigia Convention Center. So this is an official challenge for Governor Coach Dennis Delta Pineda. By the way, as proud as he is representing his fellow Kapampangans, there are a lot more VIPs proud of them. And why don't we name them one by one? Senior Deputy Speaker Congressman Don Gonzales, Team Owner Manager A.G. Gonzales, City Councilor Brent Gonzales, Senior Board Member Mika Gonzales, Mayor Roding Gonzales of Mexico, Vice Governor Lilia Nanay Pineda, Board Member Maylene Pineda, Mayor Philip Nagit of Minalin, Pampanga, and Athletic Sports Apparel. May I continue,
yes,
Coach JV?
Yes.
Kasi sinahabi pala niya, Coach Mike Perez, they're watching as well. Coach Mike, may pinapabati siya, no? From Muntinlupa, their declogging unit, Dale Edward Joaquin, Aldrian Reyes, RJ Samoy, Choi Louis Dalde, Leonilo Malyari Jr., Jerry Arciaga, Norbelito Lebron, Rodolfo Jr., and Randy Samoy.
Coach Mike, I requested earlier na sa
Upon
game 2
review, the
tayong
challenge was unsuccessful.
Ako na ang coach. We're gonna play around, Coach Mike.
All right, let's see. The previous sequence, you be the judge, Coach JV. Was there a kick?
Well, you see, there was a same instance in a previous game that he was accused of kicking, but that's the natural. Your momentum kasi off a turn, papalo talaga yung isang paa.
That's why the challenge was unsuccessful. Rivaldo just missed his first gimme.
And if you compare that to other guys who would kick, makikita mo na hindi. John Nermal, if they check his history, you'll notice he doesn't kick when he takes those shots.
John Nermal taking on the boos of the crowd.
Ang nakakatakot lang dito, lalo mong ginalit ang Pampanga, lalo silang raratsada.
That's usually, our cue to say, this is the beauty of Mpbl basketball, home court advantage. Nermal misfired on his third gimme, ball out of bounds in favor of the Strikers.
Ganun talaga sa free throws. Bago ko ituloy,
Andrea Indicio has a report for us.
Before the game started, sinabi sa akin ni Coach Alex Angeles ang nag-iisa niyang hiling sa Strikers, composure. However, right now, kagaya nga ng sinabi mo, Coach JV, we can see that the Strikers are feeling the jitters, especially in the early minutes. Kaya naman during the huddle, sabi ng kanilang coaching staff, relax lang kayo, don't force the threes at umatake tayo. They know that emotions can play a big role in this ball game and they definitely don't want this to be their downfall. Isa na daw ito sa mga natutunan nila throughout the season to rise against the odds. At sabi nga ni John Nermal, kapit lang dahil pwede tayong umasa sa isa't isa. Makes sense, Coach JV?
In terms of three-point shooting, as Archie scores inside, Bacoor is only at 2 out of 11 from downtown so far. That's 18% in this game. And points in the paint, it's being dominated by Pampanga, 18-8.
Oo nga, and that's the reason why they have this lead. Aside from the fast break points, everybody forced to run down on defense, and then they take those outside shots. But it's not a priority for Pampanga. Bacoor, on the other hand, on their previous possessions, lagi itong umahanap ng tres. You cannot get back into this ball game against Pampanga by shooting the threes. You have to take it 2 points at a time.
But at least that previous three went in for Chito Jaime. He is known for his sniping ability. Turnover forced, and here comes Jimboy Pasturan. Nermal drives, and he got fouled.
I'm surprised a foul was called. I didn't hear the whistle blow.
It's that loud here in the Brenzigia Convention Center.
Buti wala pa yung mga torotot, di pa masyadong tumutunog.
I thought at this point you would be numb with the sounds of the torotots already.
Well, in some venues kasi they echo really bad.
John Nermal is at the line. First free throw is no good. It's been a struggle for him at the stripe.
What a time to struggle. He's been playing great basketball till tonight. Then again, he can still recover. Maaga pa naman. 2:34 remaining in the second.
This free throw is brought to you by Extreme Appliances, ang subok at kompletong appliance brand ng Pilipinas. Second one is good for Jan. Let's see his free throw shooting. Jan Nermal is currently 2 out of 5 from the line. That's 40%.
Alwin Anday in the ballgame with Heruta. Two guards who really need to step up.
Rayson escapes the D. Battle for the rebound. Ball out of bounds in favor of Bacoor. Nermal is upset right now. I wonder what happened to him.
Well, Jan Nermal is getting hit and he's upset, and that's why it's ruining his offensive game. But doon natin nakita, kamontik nang nakuha muli ng Pampanga ang offensive rebound because Bacoor is focused on rebounding. Chito Jaime with the three.
That's back-to-back makes from downtown for Chito Jaime. After all, this is a guy who is hungry for his first MPBL championship. He's already lost in the finals twice. And that's with Muntinlupa in Zamboanga.
Well, Chito Jaime, alam naman natin, hindi naman nape-pressure yan. Ano? Pag yan nag-umpisa na, kayang-kaya niya ituloy. Great block there by Chito Jaime.
Now Jaime just gave the ball out to Aaron Heruta. Forward pass to their ultimate veteran, but Marquis was rejected.
Diyan mo makikita yung versatility ng mga players. Everybody can run and jump.
What a feed. JLC finding JB Bahio.
I mentioned earlier, etong Pampanga plays in a system that's flexible. They see what's open, they wait for it to happen, then they give the right pass to the right person closest to the basket.
35-24, Aaron Heruta onto Marquis. That's his shot, didn't take it. 4 on the shot clock. Heruta drives, he's blocked, but he was fouled as well.
That's what they need to do. Forget the threes, just attack.
This was the previous block by the 40-year-old Chito Jaime.
40 na rin si Chito
Jaime.
Jaime.
40.
Wow.
I had a conversation with Coach Alex Angeles before this game, and we talked about the veterans of Bacoor. They do have a lot of veterans. But if you think about it, their veterans have veterans in the team.
Tama.
So meron talagang ultimate veterans, and that's the two, and Marquis and Chito Jaime. As you take a look at our MPBL VIPs with Coach Elvis Tolentino, by the way, a Kapampangan watching from the sideline.
Siguro mga 4 or 5 years, magkakaroon na rin tayo ng MPBL seniors.
You know, that's not far from happening.
Di ba?
We already have the junior MPBL.
Si Commissioner Kenneth, pwede maglaro ulit.
At si JB Gayoso.
Iba presyo nun, iba pre. No, I'll stick to calling the games.
35-26 now. Under a minute remaining before halftime. NJ Garcia calling out to play against Alwin Alday. They go to Bahio. Balti sealing against Jan Nermal. How do you like this matchup between Nermal and Balti?
Well, I like the fact that inilagay itong si Jan Nermal because Jan Nermal has long arms. He can tap that ball. Probably has the strength kasi he just looks so small. But then again, he's doing a pretty good job. And this is where I say overplay could probably be more beneficial kasi ang hirap, ang haba ng kamay niya. Once Balti Baltasar gets that ball, ang hirap na. Great defense by Jan Nermal.
They go back Bacoor's way. Alday, baseline drive and kick. Chito Jaime for his third three. In and out. Rebound to MJ. After 22 seconds. Virtually no more shot clock. Rayson will fire. Palms away.
Well, Aaron Heruta was down covering the man. Jan Nermal should have taken the guy on top. But Jan Nermal proceeded to go down low.
4 seconds here. Heruta goes to Egilos. Jamo has to fire. Egilos made the basket. That's going to count. And there was a foul as well. A blocking foul committed by Kurt Rayson.
Well, they're going to check if he still had the ball in his hands for that to count.
That was close, but it looked to have been good from our vantage point.
Ito makikita natin.
Let's see. There you go. Very close though.
Very close, but the foul was first.
Yeah.
The foul was first before the light went on, so he should.
So the clock should have stopped as well, right?
Yes. the foul was called. The shot, I think, shouldn't count because hawak pa niya. I think
Wasn't it a shooting foul?
and then he goes for 2.
Well, we'll let the referees decide.
Tama. Kasi I'm dressed in light blue and they're dressed in black and white striped shirts.
So referee Jay Castroverde will now talk to Richard Campos, our OG arena announcer.
Basket is good for J-Mo Egilos.
Oh, he got the ball off. But dun mo makikita, di ba, yung experience ni J-Mo Egilos. Composed, hindi nagmadali. He finished the shot. Now he gets an extra one from the line.
Here's the bonus.
Oh.
That's no good. But if you're Bacoor, after being down by as many as 17 in this game, would you be happy with this output in the first half?
Oo naman, Migs, because the miscues that they had allowed Pampanga to score, but they were already successful. We pointed out several times, suddenly, nagkakaroon sila ng problema on defense, somebody's left alone, and then they were able to score.
It is 38-28 at halftime. This fan of the game is brought to you by Extreme Gaming. Liu goes to Ludovice, who drives and scores. This move of the game is brought to you by Nexus 88 Gaming.
Mga kababayan, mainit na ang laban sa 2023 Mpbl Finals. At 2 koponan na lang ang natitira sa National Finals. Kunti na lang at makikilala na natin ang ating bagong kampiyon. Sino kaya sa 2 team ang magcha-champion? Patuloy po nating suportahan at panuorin ang mga natitirang laban sa Mpbl, ang liga ng bawat Pilipino. Maraming salamat po.
Concepcion to Serrano, to Balti, Baltazar down the middle. Basket and 1.
5 on the shot clock for the strikers. Quecote bails them out once again. 6 points here in the second quarter for James Quecote after.
Encho Serrano spins. Encho Serrano scores.
James Quecote, Cañete, another offensive rebound for the strikers. Forced up a bad one was John Ambaluto. Gee, push shot, that finally goes in.
2-man game up top. Signature Pampanga, that is. The ball is back with Encho. Serrano drives. Serrano scores. We're tied at 71.
A long while here for the Embassy Chill.
At the last second of that.
Ludovice, can he go 2 straight? Yes, he does! Ivan Ludovice.
Zach Wang with 4 fouls, trying to cover Encho. He passes to JLC. 3-pointer is good!
Kapag may labay nagkakaisa, Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao, basketball na. Ang bawat labay pinaghahandaan, kaya yumayanig ang bakbakan. Todo suporta ang lahat sa kanya-kanyang kupunan. Basketball na muna tayo, iwasan na ang mga bisyo. Sports ang laging iisipin, sa droga ay huwag paalipin. Buong bansa'y magsama-sama. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, MPBL na! MPBL na! Yan ang liga ng bawat Pilipino, sa Luzon, sa Visayas, sa Mindanao. MPBL na! Yan ang liga ng bawat Pilipino, sa Luzon, sa Visayas, sa Mindanao.
Archie comes in front, bounces to Balti, and that's the first Balti slam in the semifinals. Going to MJ, Garcia will fly! Up, and away.
Sa lahat ng aking mga kababayan, mga kabalin, inimbitahan ko po kayo na patuloy na suportahan ang inyong Pampanga Giant Lanterns sa kanilang paglaban sa North Division Finals dito sa 2023 Mpbl Playoffs. Salamat po sa patuloy na pagtangkilik sa Mpbl, ang liga ng bawat Pilipino. Maraming salamat.
As MJ drives, there's the kick out. Santos for 3. Yes, sir.
Sa lahat ng mga kababayan ko ng mga Bacooreño, isa ang inyong Bacoor City Strikers sa mga kupunan na lumalaban sa South Division Finals. Salamat po sa inyong pagsuporta sa kanila, lalong-lalo na kapag sila ay lumalaban sa Strike Gym. Patuloy niyo po lang tangkilikin at suportahan ang Mpbl, Liga ng bawat Pilipino. Maraming salamat po sa inyo.
Quick, JC Marcelino, block by Normal! Kapag may labay nagkakaisa, Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao, basketball na. Ang bawat labay pinaghahandaan, kaya yumayanig ang bakbakan. Todo suporta ang lahat sa kanya-kanyang kupunan. Basketball na muna tayo,
nandigan ang bawat Pilipino sa Luzon, sa Visayas at Mindanao. Ang bawat laban ay nakakakaba dahil sa husay ng bawat isa. Sigawan ay umayanig kapag nag 3 points na. Bawat bayan di matatalo, buong barangay ay suportado. Kahit ano ang mangyari, sama-sama tayo. Basketball na muna tayo, iwasan na ang mga bisyo. Sports ang laging iisipin, sa droga ay huwag paalipin. Buong bansa'y magsama-sama. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, MPBL na! MPBL na! Yan ang liga ng bawat Pilipino sa Luzon, sa Visayas at Mindanao. MPBL na! Yan ang liga ng bawat Pilipino sa Luzon, sa Visayas at Mindanao. Sa Luzon, sa Visayas at Mindanao. MPBL, Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League. Ang bawat bayan ay sumasaya kapag may labay nagkakaisa. Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao, basketball na. Ang bawat labay pinaghahandaan, kaya yumayanig ang bakbakan. Todo suporta ang lahat sa kanya-kanyang pupunan. Basketball na muna tayo, iwasan na ang mga bisyo. Sports ang laging iisipin, sa droga ay huwag paalipin. Buong bansa'y magsama-sama. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, MPBL na! MPBL na! Yan ang liga ng bawat Pilipino sa Luzon, sa Visayas at Mindanao. MPBL na! Yan ang liga ng bawat Pilipino sa Luzon, sa Visayas at Mindanao. Ang bawat laban ay nakakakaba dahil sa husay ng bawat isa. Sigawan ay umayanig.
And the slam! Right on time, right on the money. Man will fly! Bacoor on fire here in the first quarter.
Mga kababayan, mainit na ang laban sa 2023 Mpbl Finals at 2 kupunan na lang ang natitira sa National Finals. Kunti na lang at makikilala na natin ang ating Bacoor.
It's Pampanga with a 10-point advantage. They absolutely owned the first quarter, 21-7. But Bacoor, they were able to trim the lead down in the second frame.
Oo, magandang ang backup unit ng Bacoor with Ivan Ludovice, Haruta, everybody scoring their threes suddenly when they came back in. Here we see the 2-point field goals, 27% for Bacoor. They really focused on outside shooting at even worse, 26% for the 3-point attempts. Ito naman Pampanga just doing great, 43 and 42%. That's high for the first half, ano? And then inside points, 20 para sa Pampanga. Hindi kasi nila hinahanap ang tres, dumadating na lang. Fast break points even more. Every miss ng Bacoor, they capitalize by running and they have the speed to do it. Itong Pampanga team, 15-1.
We did mention in terms of three-point shooting for Bacoor that cannot be their only option. You see, 15 attempts from downtown and 18 from the two-point area.
Oo nga. And mababanggit lang natin, they lost to Iloilo because in the third quarter when they were up so much, nakahabol ang Iloilo because they opted for the threes but they're not falling now. They should realize, go back, come closer. Jamo Eguilos and that bit of action, nakita natin, bring that ball inside, get them into foul trouble itong Pampanga big men and just score 1 point at a time.
But now you see the leading scorers of Bacoor City with Ivan Ludovice and Jamo Eguilos alongside Chito Jaime leading the way. There's no John Nermal and James Cuecote there. They combined for 0 out of 10 so far from the field as you take a look at Kurt Rayson, Balti, and Archie leading on the other end of the floor. But going back to Bacoor, how concerning is that list of leading scorers for you?
Well, of course, you'd want 10 points each, minimum from James Cuecote and John Nermal. It's a must that they perform that way. They should bring that ball closer and do not avoid if they're intimidated by anybody, Balti Baltasar's presence. No, go strong to the basket and score. Get a foul. You don't have to make that layup. I would rather miss the shot, get a foul, than miss a shot and no foul.
Now, Coach JV, why don't you recap so far your keys to victory for Bacoor?
Well, every point guard, every point counts. I put a plus factor because the guards have stepped up dito from Bacoor in the latter part of our first half. That's what they need to do, be more aggressive itong point guards on offense and defense. Second point, don't rebound, box out. No, I see them still trying to box out. You cannot. If you are guarding a prolific offensive rebounder, just stick to him. How do I know this? I was taught to do that. Forget about rebounding, wag lang pa-reboundin ang kalaban mo. OPM, overplay the man. Now, they probably see something that I don't, and I saw John Nermal being effective against Balti Baltasar. So I put an X. They're not overplaying Balti Baltasar, but still, they're doing a great job in stopping him.
But we did see the coverage of John Nermal against Balti late in the second quarter.
Right.
It's going to be interesting to see if it's going to happen as well in the second half. As now, let's go back to your keys to victory for Pampanga.
Well, switch. Hindi kailangan. Bakit? They're so quick nga itong Pampanga players. They don't need to switch. They opted to go man up. And that's fine as well. So they don't really, what I point out is something that's much easier, maybe i-adjust na later on, switching. Remain undaunted, unintimidated. Definitely, you can see naman, umpisa pa lang, ratsada na talaga. They run and they know what to do. Full of energy. Remain that way. Third point, go for seconds. Yes, offensive rebounding has been a plus factor for Pampanga, and they never stop because they want to score in every possession.
But if we can go back to one of our points in the first half, the defense of Bacoor that we would want to hold up, especially if you're Coach Alex Angeles. You pointed out that it's in the third quarter that you would want Bacoor to limit Pampanga to less than 10 points.
Tama ka dun because this one, entering the fourth, medyo you want them, yung mental focus nila, demoralized because of your defense. But I still see a lot of space between the defender of the defense of Bacoor and the offensive players of Pampanga. You need to close that up even more.
By the way, that dates back to the statement of Coach Alex Angeles in our press conference that they would want to limit the scoring in this game. Our press conference had happened inside the Bodega Kitchen and Bar, by the way. Shout out to the people who welcomed us in that venue. As John Nermal just scored.
Yeah, makikita natin sa replay. Sinungkit niya yung braso to get a foul. Go for the foul first. If you can finish off the shot, well and fine. If you don't, at least you put yourself on the line. Earlier, he missed 2. Ito si John Nermal. Titingnan natin kung na-jinx ko siya.
He's 2 out of 5 from the stripe so far, but more importantly, that was the first field goal between John Nermal and James Cuecote in this game.
Oo nga, napakaganda. Kasi ang ganda rin ng depensa sa kanya. But the previous possession nga, medyo yun, nakuha niya yung foul.
Cuecote is now trying to stop Enzo Serrano. That's our player matchup for game number 1. Cuecote is now called for a foul.
Well, Cuecote held on to Serrano. All Serrano needed to do was just react and catch the attention of the referees, which he did.
First foul on James Cuecote in game number 1. Folks, we thank you for joining us. This is Mix Gomez alongside Coach JD Gayoso with Mika Abesamis and Andrea Endicio, coming to you live from the Brenzigiao Convention Center in San Fernando, Pampanga. MJ Garcia, mid-range, that short rebound. There's the battle among Marky, Neil Tolentino, and Allen Liwag. Marky is holding on to that ball.
At doon mo makikita yung edad ng dalawang player, halos kaedad lang ni Marky. So it takes two.
Pag inad mo yung dalawang
Pag inad mo yung kita mo naman, Marky, the man.
Well, we call him the living legend here in the Mpbl. 38-31. Minute change gone by in the third quarter. Marky goes to Quecote. James stepping back against Neil Tolentino. Baseline drive. Kick out. Nermal stepped out of bounds.
A lot of hesitation there. James Quecote goes strong to the baseline. Take it. Put your defender inside that ring with the ball. But you cannot be the type of player to pass while you're not made for it. You are relied on to score. James Quecote needs to adjust.
Turnover story 6-5. Coach Alex did mention in terms of mandatories for Bacoor, they absolutely need Quecote and Nermal to score. Everybody else, they will take those bonuses in terms of points from their teammates.
Well, there you see Enzo Serrano just attacking, hoping to get a foul. And that's the kind of mentality Bacoor needs to have.
Ludovise goes to Quecote. James still cannot buy a field goal.
Well, he extended that arm. Alam mo, turo sa akin kasi because I wasn't a high leaper, leave your arm extended because if you leave your arm extended, pwedeng matamaan, pwede ka ma-foul. Don't pull your arm away. James Quecote in that attempt pulled his arm back.
Balti with a face-up, no basket. Offensive rebound, Pampanga. That's one of your keys to the game.
Second chance opportunities, makikita mo naman, you cannot be caught flat-footed against this team. Another rebound.
Balti is now fouled. Marky admits to it. And it seems like it's Marky's turn now to try to cover Balti Baltazar.
Well, nagkaroon lang ng switching dun.
Okay, yeah, it's still Egilos. Baseline inbound, Enzo Serrano. Enzo goes to Balti. There's the help by Mark. No basket. Rebound to Yi. He needs a teammate. Now Bacoor has numbers. Jan Nermal. No basket. Egilos will score.
Well, Balti Baltasar wanted to challenge, leaving Jamo Egilos open. 9 points for him.
38-33 now. Make that 8 points.
8 points
for Jamo Egilos. 3 minutes gone by in the third. Enzo Serrano relocates and misses. Ball tap. Possession goes to Bacoor City.
Well, that's the scary part there. Sa first half natin, lahat ng bukol ng Pampanga went in. Now it's not falling in for them. Let's see how they adjust itong Pampanga team.
Now let's listen in to this report from Andrea Endicio.
Aminado ang strikers that they had a slow start, but you know what? During the halftime huddle, instead nagalit ang pairalin, tulong-tulong nilang pinagaan ang loob ng isa't isa. Moving on to the second half, they reviewed some of the parts of the first half gamit ang kanilang dalang LED projector. The coaches pointed out the good and the things that they could have done better. Sabi nga ni Coach RB Mangahas, hindi ka ba ang nararamdaman ko sa kanila, but more of excitement. Na dahil daw sa excitement na ito, nawawala ang patience when it comes to execution. Let's see if the strikers can address this. Biggs and Coach JB.
MJ Garcia just scored off of a turnover. Well, Andrea talked about the execution of Bacoor. Would you say it's been better so far?
Well, yes and no, because while she was explaining the importance of execution, twice now, biglang masama ang execution nitong Bacoor.
Unfortunately, not the best of executions as well for Pampanga there in their previous possession as Enzo Serrano threw the ball out.
At ramdam na ramdam natin frustration ng crowd. They really feel it. Here we see that fast break, but the defense, Jan Nermal losing it with James Quecote all alone at the side.
And it's MJ Garcia taking it coast to coast, outlasting the defense of two Bacoor City strikers. That's Ludovise and Yi, the two champions from Davao City.
Well, Andrea also pointed out what Coach Alex was saying. Nasasayangin natin yung mga miscues natin, iwasan natin yung mga bad decisions. They really have to play as a team.
Kurt Rayson with his third three-pointer in the game.
A bit late there for Mark Yee to recover. He switched out but was too late.
Almost a steal. Could not be completed. Scramble there. There's a foul committed by Kurt Rayson.
Well, John Nermal had 3 defenders on him. He should look for a teammate to pass to.
Did you sense some jitters from John Nermal?
Well, jitters and frustration. He wants to try to create and score because yun ang hinahanap sa kanya. Ito makita natin, probably 2 points lang. Dahil
That's close.
nakatapak.
It's hard to see because the shoes were white.
White din.
Alongside the line for Kurt Rayson. 42-33. Egilos will fire. That's good.
Easy jumper there. Jemo Egilos, 9 points.
10 points now.
Yung daliri niya kasing mas malapit sa akin, parang...
It's okay. We don't blame you, Coach JV. Almost a turnover. Well, it is completed as MJ Garcia stepped out of bounds.
But see how moving without the ball helps their cause. Itong Pampanga, MJ Garcia, so quick, leaving his man. Almost was able to score with ease.
We return with Ivano Devisen, the top scorer of Bacoor in the first half. Mark Yee, straight away. Too strong. Rebound Balti.
I like the physical play between Balti and Jamo Egilos, but they should call the same kay Jamo Egilos once he's defending Balti.
There's the kick out. Rayson, three-pointer.
Once you decide to leave the outside guy, Balti Baltasar will find that free teammate.
And that's why Pampanga had to have this guy return in the Mpbl. He's that deadly. Talking about Kurt Rayson. Ludovise to Marquis. There's the counter. Just could not complete it. 45-35. MJ. Garcia stepping back. Up top to Kurt. Two-man game. Rayson fakes. Rayson drives and feeds. Liwag. One-hander is good.
First 2 points. But here we see people creating for Pampanga, attracting the defense and just dishing off to somebody free. Time and time again, every possession is not wasted. Here we see Balti creating and just making an extra pass.
Kurt Rayson making that three-pointer and then giving out this dime to Allen Liwag. What a play.
And in that situation where Liwag was able to score, James Quecote was just not napping. He was just standing there in that replay.
Under 4 minutes remaining in the third. It's a 12-point advantage. Archie comes in front, bounces to Balti. And that's the first Balti slam in the semifinals. Going to MJ. Garcia will fly. Up, up, and away.
Sa lahat ng aking mga kababayan, mga kabalin, inimbitahan ko po kayo na patuloy na suportahan ang inyong Pampanga Giant Lanterns sa kanilang paglaban sa North Division Finals dito sa 2023 Mpbl Playoffs. Salamat po sa patuloy na pagtangkilik sa Mpbl, ang liga ng bawat Pilipino. Maraming salamat.
As MJ drives, there's the kick out. Santos for three. Yes, sir.
Back at the Brenziguiao Convention Center for Game 1 of your National Finals, and I am with nag-iisang Spider-Man na si Arwin Santos. Arwin, you have been in this situation so many times. Itong mga crucial quarters ang panahon kung kailan sinusubukan ng kalaban makabawi. At ito nga, konti-konti nang nangyayari yon. Anong sinabi mo sa mga nakababata mong kapatid sa loob ng dugout?
Una-una, wag tiwala sa sarili, tiwala sa bawat isa, at wag matakot magkamali. Basta feel nyo, itira nyo. Tapos, pero siyempre, ang kinang para manalo, yung depensa nga, yung depensa kasi sa atin, inborn na yan, kaya natin yung depensa. Kasi meron tayong materyales.
Arwin, alam ko medyo nag-relax kayo, no? Bago tong game na to, nagpunta sila sa farm mo. Ikwento mo naman sa akin ng konti yun. Yung medyo nag-relax kayo at nagpunta kayo doon sa farm mo, ikwento mo naman sa akin ng konti yun.
Sobrang ganda na nangyari na yun sa farm namin kasi nagkaroon kami ng open forum. Sinabi namin kung ano yung mga dapat pa namin na idagdag sa team namin para mas makuha namin tong panalo championship dito. Alam namin na hindi yung ganong kadali. Kaya sabi namin, ang maganda rito, lahat ng mga players nagpapasalamat, natuwa, na maliban sa nag-enjoy sila sa kumain, sinabi nila yung mga saloobin nila. Kaya malaking bagay yon kasi tingin ko pag alam mo kung ano yung nasa puso ng player, mas maganda itatakbo ng team.
Maraming salamat, Arwin. Balik ka na doon. Alam kong kailangan ka nila. Balik sa inyo, Mix, Coach James.
Well, that's definitely good to hear from Arwin Santos himself. No, it's been a topic all game long by Mika Abisamis, the communication amongst each other for these Pampanga Giant Lanterns. Even Balti Baltazar himself has been a lot more vocal come these playoffs. Nakita natin, nagagalit pa nga siya on the court, no? Right. That just tells you about their sense of urgency.
Oo nga, great report there, Mika, because laking bagay yung mental preparation for a highly exciting game expected dito sa ating first MPBA Finals, and pointing that out, yung yung discussion, yung nilalabas mo nga yung concerns mo to help everybody improve, laking bagay, and that is what other teams should need to understand. Hindi lagi laro sa court, paminsan-minsan kumain. Eating together and communicating builds the bond between the players and the team.
That is what makes them a family.
Yes.
Here in the MPBL. A 14-point advantage now for Pampanga. Kurt Trayson, he's been dazzling the crowd in the third frame. Couldn't continue to do so.
Three dark jerseys, quick to be back on defense.
Chito Jaime, offensive rebound. He's been trying to be the spark plug for Bacoor City. Jaime is now up to 8 points.
So Chito Jaime, alam mo naman, lalaban at lalaban ito.
Jay, there's the kick out. Grayson drives. One more pass. Sorry, miss. Recovery for Pampanga. Bahio, quadruple team there. And a bit of a scuffle between JB and Aaron Hiruta. Not the worst of scuffles though. Looks like they just got tangled up.
Oo, lahat excited makakuha ng bola. JB Bahio, swerte naman niya, no? Nandun lang siya, nakatayo lang, bumagsak ang bola sa kanya, grabbing that loose ball, and now gives his team a chance to score.
49-37, 2 minutes and 25 here in the third quarter. This is game number 1 of our 2023 Mpbl National Finals. Only the beginning for the ultimate duel between the top 2 teams in our 5th campaign. And well, if you're Bacoor City, you'd want to hand Pampanga its first home loss of the season. Imagine if they can actually steal a game on the road, what that would mean in terms of the outlook of this championship series.
Well, alam mo, may possibility yun, to beat Pampanga here on their home floor. But maybe not on the first game, because matindi yung adjustment na ginawa ng Bacoor to come all the way here and just focus on playing, the stress of being together away from home. Very tough.
I'm actually interested to find out if Bacoor's gonna stay here, because game number 2 will happen in Pampanga this coming Tuesday. And of course, you'd want to have some practices as well in the venue to be even more familiar.
At kakain ka ng tocino.
Oh, masarap pa pagkain.
Longganisa.
By the way, as happy as we are to be in Pampanga, we do have a lot of viewers, not only from Bacoor in Pampanga. Meron tayo from Las Vegas. Jay Cooper had to wake up at 4 a.m. to watch this game. We have some viewers from Australia in Cresa and Kayla Aquino. This is just a testament to how the MPBL has grown in these 5 years. Coach JB, you were there from the very beginning. You would know.
And at that time, we would greet so many people watching from abroad. We would have a list and we would try to squeeze it in, and people were asking me, Coach, bakit nyo binabati yung mga tao? Well, that's what the league is for. It's for the people. And you have to greet everybody who sends their names in.
Well, maybe it's not as many as before, but we do gladly take all of our viewers watching on 1PH, on our live streams on Facebook and on YouTube. We also have Pilipinas Live, the app that basically gives you all of the sports happening nowadays. This is only the beginning of the finals, and it looks like our referees have already made a decision as to that previous entanglement between Aaron Hiruta and JB Bahio. Referee Rodel Brilla is having a conversation right now with Richard Campos. We'll be hearing from him shortly.
Alam mo, Migs, I rarely look at the score. I was actually surprised to see 12 up lang ang Pampanga. Looked like even more, no?
Well, they're winning the third quarter so far, 11-9, so they already surpassed your supposed goal for Bacoor in terms of their defense.
Yes, and that's the reason why a lot of space was given to their shooters.
Foul
Hindi china-challenge. Habang ang depensa ng
28
Pampanga,
of
nakadikit
Bacoor
talaga sa players
strikers,
ng
Tito Jaime is
Bacoor.
first. It's a double foul between number 7, JB Bahio of Pampanga, his second foul, and number 9 of Bacoor strikers, Aaron Hiruta is first.
So there's a foul committed by Chito Jaime, and then a double foul between those two players who got tangled up in Aaron Hiruta and JB Bahio. Baseline inbound. Bahio goes to Rayson. The hot hand in the third frame. Rayson just dancing with Joel Liu. 5 on the shot clock. JLC, that's a shot. Just short. Rebound, Chito Jaime.
Liu, intense defense, and that's what they need. If Liu could finish this quarter strong and probably contribute even more in the fourth, laking bagay nun to stop Rayson from scoring.
49-37. Hiruta spins. He needs a teammate. There's Jammer Hamito against Balti. The pull-up. Yeah, you knew it.
Way short. A lot of hesitation from his shot. Mas maigi nang lumampas ang tira.
Is that the Balti effect?
Well, yeah, intimidating to penetrate against him. I mean, Hamito is a great player, but he doesn't have the hops.
That's not even penetration. That's a jump.
I know. That's why nga nag-hesitate na siya to penetrate.
On to Balti now against Jammer. Whistles blown. And is there a foul? Yeah, there was. It's on Jammer Hamito. In the previous game, Hamito was the magic bunot for Bacoor City. He came alive in the third quarter, had 7 points in 5 minutes of play. He's trying to work his magic again against the ultimate titan, the ultimate beast that the Mpbl has to offer. Balti just missed on his second gimme. There you see team owner and manager A.G. Gonzalez of the Giant Lanterns.
Mix, babatingin ko lang Congressman Don Gonzales kasi nung kumocover pa kami ng games nung araw, nakikita ko siya, bihira ko nang makita si Sir Congressman Dong. Good evening po sa inyo.
Good evening, sir. Aaron Hiruta leans in and misses off of the scramble. There's the forward pass. Ball was loose. Recovery for Pampanga. And a foul given up by Chito Jaime to stop the play.
Presence talaga ni Balti Baltasar. Aaron Hiruta, they just went with a floater. I want to yell actually because when I see an import in front of me, when I play against a big guy, I don't go for the shot, I go for his face. I just go strong. And then he will just back up, and then suddenly I have an easy layup.
Okay, so can you put it in a lighter way when you say you're going for a person's face?
Because when a person is taller than you, the level of the ring is behind his head.
As this free throw is brought to you by Extreme Appliances, ang subok at kumpletong appliance brand ng Pilipinas.
The ring is at the level. So when I'm looking at the ring, I see his face. He's taller than me. So it's basically, I'm looking at his face. That's what he thinks, but I'm looking at the ring.
Okay.
So you make him afraid, and you see you're going strong, but you're looking actually at the ring.
Okay. Good for you to have cleared that out. It doesn't mean that you would want to hit the face of the
Iiwasan
defender
kasi
in
nila.
front of you. Yeah.
Iiwasan nila. If you look at his face, iiwasan talaga ng defender. No one wants to get hit.
By the way, Bahio looks to have been hurt. Is he bleeding? Yeah, he has to be subbed out if he is. See his teammates tending to him. I wonder what happened though in that previous sequence. JB Bahio is one of the quietest players that we have in the whole of the Mpbl. The fisherman himself from Cebu, as told to us by Mika Bisamis, he has had to transition into being a part of this Kapampangan team. But boy, has he played very well in these playoffs.
Oo nga, napakaganda ng pinapakita niya. But you see, this is frustration situation now. That's why medyo nagkakatirahan na ng extra motions are being released. And in this situation, JB Bahio, a vital cog in their unit, is forced to sit down. I hope no stitches are needed.
Yeah. You would not want him to miss out in your next games as well if you're Pampanga.
Well, there's a plus factor to that side. No, if he sits out the entire game, somebody will step up. And somebody will definitely need to step up.
Well, this is a deep Pampanga team. If you would look at the front line alone, ang dami nilang big men. Actually, if you see Ronan Santos, behind him is Kevin Santos, who also returned from that program of Letran alongside Kurt Grayson. Let's see what happened. He got his own board. Ayun, natamaan sa mukha ni Joey Liu. He continued with the play. We can't see the face of JB Bahio to determine whether or not he was bleeding.
But it was inadvertent. Talagang makikita mo, Liu was going for the ball.
Yeah.
I recall kay Ronnie Magsanok, natamaan ko rin siya nung araw. Pero I was really going for the ball and I had to hug him so fast and just tell him, I'm sorry, the ball was there and you took the ball out. It hit your face.
Oh, now Luis Angalang has to come in the game. He will be the replacement of JB Bahio.
Another steady big man.
Yeah. It looks like it's the lower part of the eye of JB Bahio.
The left eye. Well, probably we'll hear it from Mika.
Yeah, Mika's already taking her notes. 50-37, Joey Liu. Ooh, there was a hold on Bauti. No call there. Forward pass. The easiest 2 points of the night for John Noy Clemente.
Well, SOP para sa Bacoor for Pampanga. Once they get that miss from Bacoor, everybody's out running.
Ooh, Lester Reyes getting tangled up with Balti Baltazar. Well, obviously, this is not one of our best moments in the Mpbl. We have passionate fans each and every time we have our games. But for our fellow Kapampangans inside the Bren Zigao Convention Center, we will continue to remind you guys to, of course, stay disciplined. And now they're hearing from Governor Coach Dennis Delta Pineda so that everything will be normalized, everything will be secure.
Ako na makikipag-usap. Bacoor ako na makikipag-usap. Give me time. Yay!
Well, alam mo, Migs, at the moment, the court is not playable. A lot of bottles were thrown that were probably half full. And it's sad, it's gonna delay even more.
Kapampangan, nakisabi kong mayap, paboran tala rin yung makanini sitwasyon, nagyo tala rin nga. Be cool na, be cool. Datang oras talaga mapanikilo, pero paboran tayong judgment na ni referee. Kayong maging bold, ali dapat. Nakisabi kong mayap, huwag natin pabayaan magulo tong laro na to. Lamang tayo, hindi natin kailangan pagulo to. Lamang tayo, Kapampangan. Nakikiusap ako, wala nang mambabato. Pag nakita natin, automatic labas kayo ng court. Labas kayo ng court. Disiplina ang kailangan natin. Nakikiusap po ako sa inyo. Kapampangan, walang bibitaw, kaya natin to. Walang bibitaw, magdasal lang tayo, kakayanin natin to.
For those of you who did not understand, basically si Governor Coach Dennis Delta Pineda po ay nakiusap sa ating mga Kapampangan para maging disiplinado sa panonood ng ating laro. No? We would want everything to be kept at peace, and he also had some words for the Bacoor City fans so that they would feel secure as well, no? That they have it handled. This is not the first time. Right? It has happened in the Mpbl. And of course, we have to give it as well to Governor Coach Dennis Delta Pineda for knowing the fact that it's his duty, it's his team's duty as well to tone the fans down. As happy as they are that, you know, they're feeding the passion from the crowd here inside the Brenzigiao Convention Center.
And even more, head talaga sa pinuno talaga sa ng lugar natin dito sa Pampanga as governor. And that's the reason why he stepped out of his costume of wearing a coach and suddenly became the respectable governor that he is, addressing everybody to, you know, just to calm down and just to stop throwing items and even more.
Well, not everything is perfect. Of course, as much as we glorify the fan base that we have in the MPBL, the passion of each and every fan that has been on display across all cities, all provinces. Meron din naman talagang emotions ang ating mga kababayan. At minsan, syempre, madadala tayo. Lalo na nakita nila yung star player nila ay nasaktan ng onte.
Ang malaking bagay dito, the fans understand the game. They know if a move was basketball related or outside the style of play. So nakita nila medyo nabagsakan nga itong si Balti Baltasar, and that's where people reacted. But see, by reacting, it just prolongs our game even more by throwing stuff on the court. And if somebody gets injured, even more problems will occur. The worst case scenario, hopefully not naman, no, hindi nila naintindihan itong mga fans na baka i-move ang venue natin kung hindi pa nila pigil.
I don't think that's gonna happen.
I don't think it will.
Hindi naman,
Oo nga, because Governor Pineda put a stop to it right away. Pero siyempre, it has happened before na biglang napalipat ang mga venue dahil nagkagulo. In other leagues, as I mean.
Well, you can see the Kapampangans, they're calmer now. They've taken their seats as instructed by Governor Coach Dennis Delta Pineda. And it looks like the wet spots are also being taken care of.
Buti sana kung soft drink eh. Kasi
kakapit
ang sapatos. Oo, nung unang araw, soft drink ang ginagamit. Panlinis ng ilalim ng rubber shoes.
Well, this is basically a testament as to how riled up everybody is already in the finals. This is only game number 1. We even have 48,000 viewers on Facebook, and that's Facebook alone. We have so many platforms already for the MPBL. So we thank you for joining us. With 28 seconds remaining in the third, still a long way to go.
Nakalimutan na natin, JB Bahio, isa pa yun, natamaan din at nakaupo rin. So dalawa ng players, I think, are just, need extra time to rest. Total may 28 seconds pa tayo sa ating third quarter.
And the whole fourth quarter for game number 1. In only game number 1 of this series, these two teams haven't won the championship so far in the MPBL. Both teams are also experiencing the finals for the first time.
Oo nga, at yung isang team, nagboracay pa, kumain ng masarap sa farm. And here they are up.
So nag-pay off, no? Ha? Yung nag-pay off yung team bonding na yun.
Talaga, oo.
Sabi ni Arvin Santos, nag-open forum pa sila doon sa kanyang farm.
And that, you know, it really helps out to just get together, be together, that na hindi basketball ang pinag-iisipan or ginagawa.
Especially after being with the team for so long already, no? Haba ng season natin. From March up until November. Actually, we will stretch up until December. So that's basically 10 months for you. And just so everybody knows, Season 6 of the Mpbl will happen March 2024 with our preseason happening in February. So watch out for more action. And Coach JB, this is always the question, no? This year, we have 29 teams. Ilan kaya next year?
Oo nga, may balita nga, dadagdag pa.
May mga babalik din?
Yan.
But then again, we'll have to wait for further announcements. Right now, let's just enjoy our action in the finals. Our referees are talking to our coaches just to clear things out, put everybody at peace and at ease here inside the Brensigiao Convention Center. Game number 2 will happen in this venue as well before we proceed to the strike gym for games 3 and 4. If there will be a game number 5, then we return to Pampanga.
So 2 games here, 2 games in Bacoor,
and 1 game here
for game 5.
I remember the last game 5 of the Mpbl that happened in season 2. You covered that game with the
double foul between number 19 of Pampanga, Justin Baltazar, and number 6 of Bacoor, Lester Reyes. Disqualifying foul on Lester Reyes. Lester Reyes is out of the playing court.
You heard it, double foul between Balti and Lester Reyes. And Lester Reyes has just been called for a disqualifying foul. Here's the replay, Coach JB.
Dito nga makita natin pushing and shoving, nagkakaipitan ng braso. You have to be physical to an extent. And it was as he was going down.
Yun.
Etong si Reyes.
Lester Reyes is now being helped out of the court. He will proceed to the locker room of Bacoor City safely with our bouncers, our marshals. Good job by our head of security, Rudy Distrito, handling things, as well as the security and the leadership provided by the Kapampangans. Balti is getting ready to shoot free throws here.
Parang wala lang.
Well, we talked about the demeanor of Balti Baltazar all season long. It's kind of hard to get him off of his game.
Tama ka dun. Very composed, very experienced. His confidence is mild and just exudes a lot of discipline on his part to maintain that composure.
Oh, since you're one of our OG commentators, I have a hot seat question for you.
Hot seat question?
Yeah.
Wow.
Is Balti Baltazar the most dominant force you've ever seen in the history of the Mpbl?
Well, Jeff Viernes.
Ooh.
Jeff Viernes was a different animal.
Yeah.
Short, dominates a game, dominates an all-star game. It's a toss-up. Jeff Viernes was something else. Is that a good enough answer?
I appreciate you for giving me that answer because a lot of people tend to forget about him. And nawawala-wala nga naman si Jeff Viernes. He currently holds the record for most points in a game, 50 against the City.
Wow.
Right now, we shall continue. 53-37. 10 on the shot clock for Pampanga. 22 on the game clock. Rayson goes to Sanggalang. Louis bumps, and then he stepped out of bounds.
On the first bump, Sanggalang could have made an attempt. Even Reynes is telling him, take that shot. Rayson.
Rayson,
Sorry. Rayson. He was saying, take it, because on the first move, he had it.
Oh, there's an open guy at the corner. It's Viloria, met by Archie. Up top he goes to Joey Liu. screen by Mike Cañete. 5 seconds to go in the third. Chito Jaime will fire. That's too strong. Rebound to Sanggalang, and that will do it for our third quarter. Coach J.B. Gayoso, you mentioned your goal for Bacoor was to limit Pampanga to less than 10 points in the third. What happened was the reversal of fortunes. Bacoor only scored 9 points in this past frame. Kurt Rayson, on the other hand, has already 14 points to his name.
Well, kasalanan talaga ni Kurt Rayson yun. Kaya matindi ang kanyang contribution sa game na yan. Plus the presence of Balti Baltasar and second chance opportunities as well. So, everything just piled up against itong Bacoor. They had a tough time talaga scoring.
It's 53-37 after 3 in game number 1. This steal of the game is brought to you by TMT. Accelerate your victory with TMT Play. Archie comes in front, bounces to Balti, and that's the first Balti slam in the semifinals. Going to MJ, Garcia will fly! Up, and away.
Sa lahat ng aking mga kababayan, mga kabalin, inimbitahan ko po kayo na patuloy na suportahan ang inyong Pampanga Giant Lanterns sa kanilang paglaban sa North Division Finals dito sa 2023 Mpbl Playoffs. Salamat po sa patuloy na pagtangkilik sa Mpbl, ang liga ng bawat Pilipino. Maraming salamat.
As MJ drives, there's the kick out. Santos for 3. Yes, sir. What will happen in this venue as well? In San Fernando, Pampanga, games 3 and 4 in Bacoor. And if there will be a game 5, then we shall return to Pampanga.
Para sa viewers lang natin, game 2 will be on
Tuesday.
Now, wise thing there, should Bacoor go home tonight or should they stay?
Right.
You know, bringing them home would be like a timeout. Get away from the scenario of being here in Pampanga. Go home, be with your family, forget the game, and then probably come back. Although what I'm saying is just something to change the atmosphere, the mental stress that they faced dito sa game 1.
Coach JB, Bacoor has been limited to less than 10 points for 2 quarters already in this game.
Oo nga, ganyang katindi ang depensa. Then again, very tough to penetrate this Pampanga defense because of Balti Baltasar, 7-21 first. And everything else there after 9 points lang sila dito sa third quarter.
Joel Liu is on the court alongside Mike Cañete, Jamo Eguilos, James Quecute, and Reniel Viloria. Quecute has been shut down so far in this game. Can he come alive? The answer is still no. Eguilos turns around, then he gets the bounce.
See that quick move, very simple. 12 points for Jamo Eguilos. You know, no pressure whatsoever despite Balti Baltasar being there. He knows how to make those shots go in.
I did ask Coach Alex Angeles, among all of your players, who looked to have stepped up in these playoffs, and his answer is Jamo Eguilos.
Well, maganda talaga contribution niya. He can dominate.
Oh, Archie to beat the buzzer. Almost made the shot. Bit of a knockdown there. It's just going to be a 24-second shot clock violation.
Ivan Ludovice coming back into the ball game for Liu.
Remember, Ivan made a big difference in the first half. He was the leading scorer for Bacoor.
Ano mo, tough scenario right now for Coach Alex. He needs to look for a group that can prepare, that will do well now, but prepare for game 2.
Eguilos staying true to his matchup against Balti. Baltasar arguing that his hand was just up in that previous sequence.
And they should do that all night. They should have started that way.
Third foul now on Balti. You think that could be the key here? Get him in foul trouble?
Yeah, well, ganun talaga, but make him sit. Pero nandito na nga tayo sa fourth quarter. Although I know they did once or twice download yung first quarter, but biglang huminto, humahanap na ng tres itong Bacoor. And now we see, because the threes aren't falling, they're going to Jamo Eguilos.
By the way, on the other hand, now the ball is with Encho Serrano. Everybody has to watch out for this guy. He's usually Mr. Fourth Quarter for Pampanga. Back with the signature two-man game. Balti Baltazar goes to MJ Garcia. 11 on the shot clock. Screen by Balti. MJ saw an opening. And there's a foul committed by Mike Cañete.
MJ Garcia just elevates. Earlier during the warm-ups, his dunks were like nothing to him. He would just go up and slam that ball.
MJ Garcia is also one of those guys who got drafted in the PBA. He's waiting for the decision of his team as to whether or not he will be signed. But either way, itong maganda sa Pampanga, there's a guarantee from Governor Coach Dennis Delta Pineda. Whatever happens to you in your career, you have a home to return to.
Tama ka doon. Yan ang kagandahan. So talagang nawawala yung kaba mo. And yung buong loob mo, whether you make the choice of going to the PBA or remaining here.
Egilos is trying to seal again. Instead, Bacoor goes to Peña Viloria. Pass to Egilos. Mid-range. That's short. Rebound, Encho.
Well, not the type of shot we would like Jamo Egilos to take, but he had no choice.
Serrano flies and misses. Offensive rebound. Whistle's blown there. There's a foul on Cañete.
And you notice, Mix, when you cannot go for that rebound, if you're bodied up with Baltazar, a guy taller than you, you just have to push him out. Not push na mahuhulog siya, just preventing him from coming to the basket.
And now, let's listen in to Mika Abisamis for her report.
First things first, JB Bahios cut under his left eye was a bit deep and it took a while before they could stop the flow of the blood, but he's fine now, just resting. Now, on a lighter note, after everything, may konting kwento lang ako tungkol kay Kurt Rayson na hot hands. Talaga daw sobrang excited niya makabalik dito sa Mpbl. He came back to Pampanga 3 days ago, went to his dorm, dropped his things, and first destination after that, the Brenziguiao Convention Center. Sabi ko agad-agad, sabi niya gusto ko kasi ulit siya amuyin muna. So inamuy niya itong venue at nag-shooting mag-isa. At ito na nga ang resulta. Mix, Coach James.
Amoy na nga ni Kurt Rayson. He's perfect from downtown, by the way.
Tama.
4 out of 4.
Thank you, Mika, for that report, because players also have to find something to motivate themselves to get back mentally into a game, especially a highly expected game na exciting and game 1 ng ating finals.
Almost a turnover there. 6 on the shot clock. Archie for 3. Too strong. Another offensive rebound. Encho works with Balti. Serrano down the middle. No basket. Another board. And the putback for Balti.
And there you see, boxing out is important. Box out, no need to rebound. Just keep him away. Let your teammates do the rebounding because he can grab that ball over you.
A 14-point advantage for Pampanga. Here's Jan Nermal off of his cross. Foul called. The swipe was made by MJ Garcia, so he's the one called for the foul. And there you see, to your point, Coach JB, nobody boxed Balti out.
Nobody boxing him out.
Jan Nermal is now at the line. He's 3 out of 6 so far from the stripe. Make that 4 out of 7. 8 points for Jan, but his partner in crime, James Quecote, has been completely silenced. Quecote is 0 out of 8 from the field, and he's scoreless in this game. You mentioned you want a minimum of 10 points each for those two players.
For those two players, it's a must because they're expected to score.
Nermal works with Egilos. Jan up top, he slips and recovers. Nermal bounces. Egilos will not finish. Sorry miss, and here comes MJ. Under 6.5 minutes in game number 1, out of bounds.
It's just the quickness of the Pampanga players. JB Bahio coming back into the ball game.
Look at that bandage.
Knuckle yata ang tumama sa kanya, knuckle ni Liu and while he was trying to steal that ball.
Mika did say it was a deep cut. But we're happy to have him back. James Quecote against Archie. Quecote drives. He still could not buy a basket. 0 out of 9 now.
another attempt that he opted to, shy away from contact, and that's the reason why no call was made.
This has been a storyline, by the way, for James Kwekute all season long. People have been calling him out in terms of performing in the biggest games.
Well, he will learn. This is good experience. First time he's in the finals of the Mpbl. Maybe on the next game, he will look for the contact even more.
There's contact there in the previous sequence. JB Bahio had to stop Jamie Egilos. The basket won't count as the foul was on the floor.
I saw the action a bit late now. Looked like it should have counted. I don't know if he was fouled before making that shot.
Nevertheless, we have a timeout. It's 57-45. Another 6 minutes to go in game number 1.
Sa lahat ng mga kababayan ko ng mga Bacooreño, isa ang inyong Bacoor City Strikers sa mga kupunan na lumalaban sa South Division Finals. Salamat po sa inyong pagsuporta sa kanila, lalong-lalo na kapag sila ay lumalaban sa Strike Gym. Patuloy niyo po lang tangkilikin at suportahan ang Mpbl Liga ng bawat Pilipino. Maraming salamat po sa inyo.
Quick, JC Marcelino, block by Normal!
Po ang naghahabol. Saan po ba kayo pinaka nahihirapan?
I think syempre sa defense kulang pa. So I think we need to crush the boards, 50-50 ball, and then syempre we need to communicate on defense. On offense naman siguro kailangan we execute more, keep sharing the ball para rotate din yung defense nila.
And Coach, alam namin na kilalang kilala nyo ang inyong mga players and we've seen some miscommunications, a lot of hesitation. Sa tingin nyo po, Coach, bakit nangyayari ang mga ito?
Tingin ko syempre finals iba-ibang feeling, syempre first time namin, almost karamihan first time sa final, syempre may pressure. I think dapat siguro laruin lang namin yung laro namin, wag namin maramdaman kung ano man yung pressure na naramdaman, enjoy lang, and I think dapat maging composed lang kami. Yun lang, ma'am.
Alright, thank you so much, Coach RB. Gentlemen, your thoughts on this interview?
For all of the finals games that you have covered, you have watched, you have played, marami ka ba nakitang teams na kabado nung game number 1, pero ibang-iba na sila from game number 2 up until the end?
Oh yeah, of course. Everybody who's entered for the first time really show a lot of you see, just even in that bit of action, talagang tentativeness, a lot of questionable decisions, and this is the time when you really need composure. But how do you get that? Maybe by losing this game on their first attempt here sa Mpbl Finals, they would change come second game because wala na, nothing. What's the worst that could happen for Bacoor? They've experienced it here now. Now they move on. They know how it feels to lose or play badly.
And by the way, come Tuesday, they will have known already how it is to play with the crowd of Pampanga.
There you go. And let's not forget, against Iloilo, they lost the first.
Tama. After nun, tuloy-tuloy na panalo nila.
Yeah, let them feel that heartbreak again because masaya silang coming off, entering this finals. So let them feel some heartbreak and let's see how they react.
Not the best of angles right there on the lefty layup by MJ Garcia. Bacoor is down by 12. As much as we're talking about game 2 and forward already, this is still not impossible for Bacoor City to pull off a comeback.
Well, tama ka doon, Migs. They need a couple of threes. And John Normal just hasn't been hitting, and so is James Kwekute. But this guy continues to do damage.
Kurt Rayson. What a return for him. He's up to 15. Make that 16 points now.
And the tough part for Bacoor is that they couldn't actually prepare for Kurt Rayson because he's been absent from the previous games ng Pampanga. So ang hirap pag-aralan talaga.
Egilos will score on the other end. By the way, Kurt Rayson is now 6 out of 7 from the field. Totaling 16 points for him.
Well, great game for him on his comeback.
Rayson again, dancing with Ivan. No bounce, offensive rebound. Bahio hands. 2 free throws.
there's nothing more you can do. I mean, the ball took an extra bounce on the rim, catching James Quecote airborne and with no ball to come down with.
Couple of subs here. Marky returns alongside Alwin Alday. By the way, before we continue, batiin natin sina Ali Abbas and Madam Laia watching from Dasmariñas, Cavite. Gandang gabi po sa inyo. Napapati kayo ni Satar Macantal, one of our VIPs here in the Mpbl. Bahio is about to shoot free throws. Big shout out to his parents, by the way. I was joking with him, as you take a look at the low scoring strikers in this game. Marky and James Quecote combined for 2 points. John Nermal has come alive, but only in the second half, to total 11. But going back to JB Bahio, I was joking with him. JB, bakit ba ang daming mga tao na hindi alam ko paano i-pronounce yung last name mo? Sabi niya, tahimik lang kasi talaga ako eh. Mabait ako, tinanggap ko na lang din na iba-iba yung pronunciations. Pero ang pagkakaalam ko po talaga, at nanggaling din sa mga magulang ko, Bahio po talaga.
Bahio. Ako kasi what is important is the JB. Parang katunog ng pangalan ko. So kung ko binibigyan ng halaga, ganda ang pangalan.
63-49. Foul committed by MJ Garcia as John Nermal now proceeds to the line. Okay, if we can individualize John Nermal, he had a slow start, but now he's coming alive. Would you say that this guy has transitioned very well already into the finals of the Mpbl?
Well, he has. Actually, he's the branded name right now para sa Bacoor. I'll go out on a limb and probably say he could be the franchise player because tingnan mo naman, despite what he's gone through, the tough defense of Tolentino and everybody else put on him, he tries to score, but free throw woes continue to haunt him tonight.
Finally, the first bucket for James Quecote in this game.
And that was the first layup he made that he didn't shy away from contact. He just attacked that run.
John Nermal, blocked by Bahio. What a play by JB. The other end we go. That's a foul. Grayson got hit. Sayang yun, para sa Bacoor, if you think about it.
Well, John Nermal was saying that could have been a goal. And tignan natin kung the ball was on its way out, but James Quecote was free.
Look at the calculation by JB. Ooh.
Looked like it was kind of on its slope down.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah. There you see the coaches of Bacoor now trying to plead the case for John Nermal. But can they actually challenge as of this moment? Kanina pa yun eh.
Well, the mere fact that it was replayed and it showed that it was a goaltending call. Here we go.
No, this is a foul.
That's the push.
Plus, can they actually challenge because there was no call, no whistle blown.
At wala pa yatang challenge itong Bacoor. They should actually challenge that. Well,
Rayson is now at the line. You see his shooting, very efficient. Perfect from downtown. And only one miss overall. Welcome back, Mr. Kurt Rayson. As Mika said, when he returned to his dorm, nilatag niya lang yung mga gamit niya and he went straight to practicing.
Well, I would probably do the same thing. Maybe not to go to the extent na aamuyin ko yung...
It was figuratively speaking, but I like that you're joking about it on a literal sense.
I got you.
65-52, James Quecote is rejected. Bahio now goes to MJ.
Should have finished with the left hand because he's got a long arm Balti Baltasar on his right. But these are the things James Quecote definitely will adjust to.
Nice cut. Nice pass. Good finish.
Nakita mo yung communication, tingin lang. Balti Baltasar, deceiving yung eyes niya talaga. He's not looking at you but he knows where you are. Great peripheral vision for this guy. Smart player.
Well, Mika did mention, yan ang nangyayari kapag meron kang mga team building sessions. You mentioned it as well, umabot sa punto na amuyan na lang, tinginan na lang as we see this 1-2 play by John Nermal escaping the defense of Archie Concepcion. That was a while ago already. They're going to need more of that from Jai. Bacoor's down by 15 here. With 2 minutes remaining in game number 1. Archie comes this one, bounces to Balti. That's the first Balti slam in the semifinals. Going to MJ. Garcia will fly! Up, up, and away.
Sa lahat ng aking mga kababayan, mga kabalin, inimbitahan ko po kayo na patuloy na suportahan ang inyong Pampanga Giant Lanterns sa kanilang paglaban sa North Division Finals dito sa 2023 Mpbl Playoffs. Salamat po sa patuloy na pagtangkilik sa Mpbl, ang liga ng bawat Pilipino. Maraming salamat.
As MJ drives, there's the kick out. Santos for 3. Yes, sir. We have a couple of facts from our head of statistics, Jory Mangono. No? The lowest output in terms of scoring of Pampanga in the season is 74, while for Bacoor, 54 points. So these two teams are currently on the lower side, no, in terms of their season lows as a team. But now you're seeing the numbers of Bati Baltazar, 13, 16, and 6.
Hindi pa kasama yung intimidation factor niya, his defense, his presence, his passing. It's just total domination by this guy. His presence talaga, quality minutes for him. And I really don't need to mention that, and that's the reason why he is who he is.
Yeah. The funny thing about it is that nobody is surprised anymore with those numbers. Forward pass, one guy ahead, JLC, chased by Kwekute. Napaganda pa. Oh, no, 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 no. It's a charge.
Warding off. And you see the choice here, Migs, if you're in that situation, would you ward off or would you just get the contact and be fouled?
I actually want to ask you that question.
Well, I would rather get the contact rather than ward off. I don't need to score. We're up.
Pass inside. He was bothered. That's a turnover. Pampanga slowly but surely securing this game already. Last 100 seconds. Here's the hot hand in game number 1. Kurt Rayson on his homecoming. Rayson is fouled. Oh, he hung in the air. Got the basket to go, but referees both ran to the action. Looks like there was some excessive contact between Aaron Hiruta and Kurt Rayson.
I don't mind that action happening, but people from the bench shouldn't be yelling. I can't repeat what they were yelling, actually. Those are the ones whose attention should be called.
See what happened here. Aaron. Ayun. Actually, tumama ba?
Probably sa likod, and that's the reason why Rayson just fell forward.
Now he made the basket. I wonder what that's gonna mean as well. Hiruta did apologize to Governor Coach Dennis Delta Pineda after the sequence. So that's a good act of sportsmanship. No basket here. Foul on Aaron. Okay, as early as now, I want to ask you, what differences, what are the biggest differences that you want to see from the Bacoor side come game 2?
Well, be more aggressive on defense. They're allowing the players of Pampanga, they're giving them space. And then at the same time, they lose focus on the guys they're guarding, guys without the ball. And that's why a lot of them just cut in between, cut to the basket, and easy passes are made. Second is, if the threes aren't falling, look for the points in the paint. And that's what Pampanga did. Simple strategy ng Pampanga. Miss Bacoor, we run the fast break. We run the fast break, they clock down on defense, we take an outside shot. If they set up on offense, they go down low, posting up and getting points in the paint. If they double, they pass out, outside shooting again. Very simple.
With John Nermal against 2 defenders, he escaped and he was fouled.
Well, right now, Migs coming into the next game, etong Pampanga doesn't really need to make any changes. They just have to continue playing the way they are. Maybe intensify their defense and preventing second chance opportunities for Bacoor. It's the ball now is in the hands of the Bacoor team. They're the ones who have to make big changes.
Well, you talked about teams who have adjusted after 1 game in the finals in the history of Philippine basketball. Question is, will Bacoor fall in that same category? They also mentioned, alam na nila kung paano maglaro dito sa Brenzigao Convention Center on a main game. Iba kasi kapag naglalaro ka dito, pero first game, second game, wala pang masyadong crowd. Kurt Grayson, fouled by Heruta. Imagine, we're not even seeing Encho Serrano on the floor. And Encho's numbers in this game, he's only at 5 points, 2 out of 11, but still no problem for Pampanga.
But the Archie Concepcion.
Let's see Archie's numbers, 7 points, 3 out of 8 shooting.
And I don't think I saw him play in the second half because they probably didn't need to. They made adjustments that kept them with this lead, and it's slowly increasing even more.
Archie only played 5 minutes in the second half, to your point.
Okay. And how long did he play in the first? Probably
14.
14 minutes.
The second half has belonged to Kurt Grayson. 71-56, under a minute remaining in game 1. John Nermal drives and scores.
I like what John Nermal's doing. He's just building up his confidence for game 2.
16 points for John Nermal. He struggled in the first half, only scoring 2. But those 2 points actually came from the stripe. Here's Kurt Grayson. 30 seconds to go. That will do it. Pampanga's just going to waste the time away here inside the Brenzigao Convention Center. 8 on the shot clock. JLC will go to Archie. Down to 3 seconds. Concepcion will drive. No foul there. No basket as well. 10 seconds remaining. Nermal will drive and miss. 4 seconds, and that's it. Game number 1 belongs to the Pampanga Giant Lanterns. This is their first finals win in Mpbl history. Balti Baltazar came alive once more with 13 points, 16 rebounds, and 6 assists. But he's not the hero for tonight, Coach JD.
No. Mamaya ayoko naman unahin. Tintayin natin para makita rin ng mga fans natin kung sino napili nating best player.
Well, as for the Bacoor City Strikers, we are far from the end. This is a best of 5 series, virtually race to 3. They have a chance for retribution come game number 2 this Tuesday inside the Brenzigao Convention Center. Now they know how it is to play in this venue against not only the players but the crowd as well of Pampanga.
May tanong ako, kakain pa ba ulit sila sa farm ni Arwen Santos? At sana kung kakain sila, imbitahin din tayo.
Alright, eto na, Coach JD, the hero of the night.
There we see.
Kurt Grayson. So in this game, Kurt Grayson was able to deliver mightily from the bench. 22 points, 6 out of 8 from the field, a perfect 4 out of 4 from downtown, and perfect from the stripe as well, 6 out of 6. The best way, basically, for him to be welcomed back to the Mpbl, and a 13-point win in Game 1 for Pampanga.
Well, it's very tough to prepare. Maybe they did go back to previous games of long ago with Kurt Grayson there. Now they have a fresh video of how he plays with the team. At bago pa natin ituloy,
let's turn you over to Mika Abisames, who is with Kurt Grayson.
Kurt, unang-una, welcome back to the Mpbl. Mukhang gumana yung diskarte mo na pumunta ka agad dito sa venue, pinakiramdaman mo, at nag-shooting ka agad at nagtrabaho.
Yun na nga, na dapat inagahan ko pumunta dito kasi matagal na akong di nakalaro ulit dito sa convention eh. Yun, inamoy ko yung venue dito. Yun, lumabas naman lahat yung paghihirap ko nung 3 araw na kahit ngayon lang ako nakasama ulit sa kanila sa finals pa. Yeah, sobrang saya. Nakuha namin yung game 1.
At talagang nakita namin lahat ng effort mo ngayong gabi. Pero alam mo, nakita ko rin ang efforts ng mga teammates mo na sila JB Bahio, si Balti, si Archie, no? Sa tingin mo ba yung ginawa nyo ngayong gabi, yan na ang formula para sa Game 2, Game 3 at para sa championship?
Siguro adjustment pa rin ulit kasi yun na nga, nawala rin yung laro ni Encho Serrano na kailangan din namin siya eh. So mag-a-adjust na lang kami, lalo na yung sa namin, execution namin sa depensa, yung paano kami mag-rotation, lalo na sa Game 2 dapat makuha pa rin namin kasi home court pa rin namin eh.
At dahil nakuha mo nga ang Game 1, Kurt, meron ka ba mga gustong batiin at pasalamatan?
Una-una, nagpasalamat kami ka Senior Deputy Speaker Congressman Dong Gonzales, Team Honor Manager AG Gonzales, City Councilor Brens Gonzales, Senior Board Member Mika Gonzales, Mayor Rodin Gonzales of Mexico, at kay Governor Dennis Delta Pineda, Vice Governor Lilian Nanay Pineda, Board Member Mylene Pineda, Mayor Philip Naguet of Manilin, Pampanga, tsaka sa Athletic Sports Apparel, tsaka sa family ko na walang saong suporta, sa mga tropa ko dyan sa Malita, tsaka sa girlfriend ko, family ng girlfriend ko, tsaka sa mga boss ko sa Davao. Mabuhay kayong lahat.
A well-deserved win by Kurt Rayson and the rest of the Pampanga Giant Lanterns. Makes Coach James.
Welcome back, Mr. Kurt Rayson. Took him
Thank you,
3
Mika.
days. 3 days, Coach JV, for him to get his touch back in the Mpbl. But I actually want to elaborate on what he mentioned. No? Sabi niya, hindi pa maganda ang laro ni Encho Serrano here in game number 1. Can you imagine if all 3, Encho, Kurt Rayson, and Balti Baltazar would play very well in game number 2? That's going to be hard for Bacoor.
Well, it's not an impossible thing to happen. I'm pretty sure they'll all step up their game because hindi pa tapos till after they win 3 games and they don't want etong Bacoor to get a taste of a win para talagang katayin ang yung kumbaga ang puso na. You want to take 2 games here and then let's see what happens when they go back to Bacoor.
It's still way too early in the finals. We've seen game 1s dropped by champion teams already here in this league. And if you think about it, if you would date back to season 1 of the Mpbl, wala pa tayong sweep, no, in the finals.
I don't think there has been one.
Wala pa.
Tama ka. I don't recall.
Yeah, because Muntinlupa won a game versus Batangas as well in the inaugural season.
And then the Davao San Juan also took several games.
Yeah, 5-4 yun.
Yeah.
Last year, 4 din
Yeah.
between Nueva Ecija and Zamboanga. Either way, Bacoor will have home court in Game 3. Let's see if they can actually extend the series to 4 or 5 as we get to see, or as we continue to see highlights in this game. Do you have any final thoughts?
Well, the exciting part here is the adjustments that Bacoor will make. I'm pretty sure they're going to spend a lot of time reviewing everything and just making better adjustments, pointing out the half-hearted defense that some of the Bacoor's players have shown, and then just to step up their game. But a great step for John Nermal that on the end, he still continued to fight. And also the penetration of James Kwekuteng. One is enough to put in his head that if he brings it stronger, that's good enough.
Kwekuteng, by the way, finishes the game in 31 minutes of play. He only scored 2 points, 1 out of 12 from the field. Nermal was 4 out of 11, scoring 16. Game number 2 will happen here inside the Bren Zigiao Convention Center in San Fernando, Pampanga. And again, it's far from over. After that, we proceed to Bacoor next Saturday, and then Tuesday again for Game 4, if ever. Game number 5 will happen December 9, if necessary, back in Pampanga. You did mention as well, you have a couple of days off. So the question is, will Bacoor go back to their respective homes, get some peace and quiet, or will they stay here?
Alam mo, naunahan mo lang ako eh, and I'm glad you pointed it out because right now they need to relax their brain and everything. They go to a neutral setting where they can talk about it, have their own, quote-unquote bull session, if you call it. Just bring out the concerns, and that will probably help later on. And then come back maybe Monday morning, shoot around, another shoot around Tuesday morning, and then eat well, and send some food towards where we live, and
basically, they're gonna do a Pampanga. What Pampanga did to prepare for game number 1.
Yes.
Thank you for joining us here in our first game for Mika Besamis, Andre Endicio, and Coach JB Gayoso. My name is Fix Gomez, and now let's listen in to our press conference.
They did their best pa rin. Kahit sabi ko nga, ang daming hindi kasi healthy dahil sa previous na mga nagkasakit. So, thank God din at sakto yung pagpasok ni Rayson. Step up kagad. Lahat yung power niya, ni-reserve niya for Mpbl.
Coach, how about po sa nangyari earlier na pa-stop yung game natin?
Actually, from the beginning, yun ang sinasabi ko sa mga referee, yung pagkocontrol ng mga sobrang physical sa game. Ni-remind ko na sila, kaso pinabayaan nila ng pinabayaan. Kaya tignan nyo nangyari. Ayoko ma-involve ang crowd. Ayoko. Iniiwasan ko yon. Pero kung pababayaan kasi, yun ang mga bagay na hindi tama. Kaya hanggat maaari, yung mga sobrang pisikalan na gano'n na laro, dapat nakokontrol natin. Sayang yung liga, ang ganda eh. Gusto natin to matapos ng tahimik to. Ayaw natin ng gulo. Tingnan nyo naman, wala naman nagsisimula sa lanterns. At ako sisiguraduhin ko, babawalan ko pag meron sa team namin. Ang pakiusap ko lang talaga, sana i-level nila yung sa pisikalan kung paano. Pag sobra na, wag pabayaan na. Pag na-involve ang crowd, paano tayo? Vice versa, kung ganun ang gagawin namin, magiging madumi laro namin on the court of Bacoor, magagalit ang fans ng Bacoor sa amin. So ayoko rin mangyari dito yon. Ayoko may gulo.
Kurt, kahit nawala ka sa Pampanga for a time, ang ganda kagad ng pinakita mo pagbalik mo rito. So ano yung naging dahilan? Bakit ang ganda ng laro mo for the first game?
So far naman, yung past 3 days before the game 1, pumunta na ako dito, tinawagan na ako ni Gob na sumabay na ako sa ensayo para mapakiramdaman ko yung mga kasama ko ulit kasi matagal ko silang di nakasama, hindi ko nahalubilo. So yun, tsaka inamoy ko yung convention, kinuha ko yung rhythm ko, nag-shooting ako 3 araw, kaya yun, lumabas naman, nagbunga naman lahat.
Coach, congrats. Stress ka sa game, stress ka sa crowd. So, nakita natin, paano yung minamanage yung emotional balance pagka gano'n na medyo nahahati yung attention mo?
I must act as a governor of the province. Kailangan ko kontrolin yung mga kababayan ko. Hindi naman, I mean, nadala lang sila doon sa galit, emosyon nila. Pero I know, mabilis kausapin yung mga Kapampangan. Talagang number 1 thing to do is control the crowd talaga. Hindi dapat sila ma-involve sa game.
Sir, may reason ba bakit hindi natin nakita sa playing court kay si Arwin? Si Arwin, ba't hindi natin
Kasama si Arwin sa mga nagkasakit. Ang dami niyan. Yesterday, 3 yung galing sa ospital ko. Clemente, actually 4. Clemente, Neil, Balti, Encho. Kalalabas lang kaninang umaga ng mga yan. So talagang Arwin, hindi ko na pinakonfine pero still, buong family nila tinamaan din nung flu. Alam nyo naman yung flu kung gaano kabigat. Actually, Balti, after first game of San Juan, tinamaan na rin si Balti. Sabay kami. Until now, hindi nawawala yung flu ni Balti, nandun pa rin.
So, dito sa Best of 5 series natin, mangyayari ulit yan kung hindi ba natin inaasahan. How you will decide to make our lineup optimal?
Yung pagiging healthy, hindi ko masabi kasi, pero right now, andun pa rin sila sa pagtatapos ng mga antibiotics nila. Alam niyo naman yan, 7 days to finish yung antibiotic. So, we're praying na mag-step up yung iba kahit matter of minutes lang, mag-step up lahat. Yun ang kailangan ko.
Gob, nauna nang sinabi ng Bacoor na mahigpit na depensa yung gagamitin nila. Nakita naman natin, kahit na malakas yung umpisa natin sa first quarter, malaki yung naging lamang natin. Pero 2 beses tayong naubusan ng oras sa shot clock. Ano yung hinabilin natin sa mga bata para ma-counter ito? Anong strategy ginawa natin?
Yung defense ng Bacoor, alam naman natin talaga malakas, di ba? Makukuha din nila yung rhythm nila. Kaya sabi ko nga, stay focused lang kahit nakahabol sila. Continuous pa rin yung depensa namin. Control their 1, 2, 3 talaga. Yung mga guards, we need to control them. At running game, doon pa rin.
This fast break of the game is brought to you by Extreme Gaming. This block of the game is brought to you by TMT. Accelerate your victory with TMT Play.